This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine, Volume 6, Issue 2/19, 1999. The main feature highlights are Akihabara Strategy 99 and new title announcements. Featured games include The House of the Dead 2, Sonic Adventure, Evolution, Worlds of Sacred Device, and Seventh Cross. There's also a mention of Sengoku Turb. The cover also promotes a special feature on Mailchum and Happy Valentine. The cover art prominently features mecha-style robots. This page is an advertisement for Sega Rally 2. The advert uses the tagline, "Is anyone first?" and the text encourages players to hone their skills to be the best rally driver. It highlights the game's intense racing action and the ability to compete against rivals in real time. The game is priced at 5,800 yen and supports both network play and racing controllers. A screenshot of the gamebox art is prominently displayed. This page is an advert promoting the Dreamcast platform and a Dreamcast Partner Program membership. The main image shows a rally car from what appears to be the game Sega Rally Championship 2. The bottom of the page shows smaller screenshots of various racing games on the Dreamcast, showcasing different racing environments including city streets, dirt tracks, and rally stages, likely highlighting the variety of racing experiences available on the system. The advert encourages readers to become a Dreamcast Partner member. This page is the contents page for Volume 6 of the Dreamcast Magazine, dated February 19, 1999. It lists the features within the magazine, starting with a deep dive special feature on Akihabara, known as Akihabara Conquest 99. There's a Dreamcast scoop covering upcoming Dreamcast titles, including a report on Sega's new president and a production presentation from February 1st. New game previews are listed for Undercover, The House of the Dead 2, and Shenmue. A section called Dreamcast Hot Information teases new game information for Web Mystery, Yochi Yume Omiru Neko, Arrow Dancing featuring Blue Impulse, Puyo Puyon, and Marionette Handler. The Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide is featured, alongside game strategy guides for Sega Rally 2, Sonic Adventure, Jungle Park, and Seventh Cross Evolution / Sengoku Turb. There is also a Sega Motion Capture Shooting Report and a section on the Dreamcast National Popularization Project, which reviews Dreamcast games and explores hidden techniques. This page is the game index for the magazine, listing the articles and sections for both Dreamcast and Sega Saturn games. For Dreamcast, you'll find titles such as Undercover, Wee Mystery, Premonition Dream Seeing Cat, Arrow Dancing, Blue Impulse, Godzilla Generations, The House of the Dead 2, Sunrise Hero Story Chronicle, Shenmue, Deity and Demon World Evolution, Sega 2, Seventh Cross, Warring States Turb, Sonic Adventure, Virtua Fighter 3TB, Puyo Puyon, Pen Tri-Isolon, Mahjong Competition 2 Special, and Marionette Handler. The Sega Saturn section includes More Than a Kiss, Sengoku Keishou, Dungeons & Dragons Collection, and Device Reign. This page is about the release of Sega Rally 2 on Dreamcast, announced on January 28. To commemorate the release, Sega and Young Magazine have formed a rally team called Team Young Magazine Sega Rally to participate in the Safari Rally, which is the third round of the World Rally Championship, WRC, and a Group N event. The team consists of team manager Yoshio Fujitsubo and drivers Hideaki Ozawa and Mitsuhiro Goto. Fujitsubo mentions that the Safari Rally is the origin of Subaru's rally activities. Goto is described as an experienced driver with consecutive Group N championships in 95 and 96, and participated in WRC the previous year. Ozawa is a first-time Safari Rally challenger. The article highlights the Subaru Impreza WRX rally car, mentioning that its distinctive coloring, including the Sega Rally and Dreamcast logos, was designed by a game designer. The article also mentions that free-play units of Sega Rally 2 were available at the announcement event for attendees to enjoy. This page reports on Tetsu Yugawa, Sega's former managing director, visiting game stores in Osaka to promote Sega games, specifically the first online-compatible game, Sega Rally 2, which had just been released. The page also introduces the Puru 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 Paku, a Dreamcast vibration pack accessory releasing on March 4th for 1,800 yen. It's described as enhancing gameplay realism through vibrations and impact. The page details Dreamcast peripherals, highlighting the Dreamcast controller and the Dreamcast gun, with the House of the Dead 2 gun set launching on March 25th for 7,800 yen, compatible with the Dreamcast gun and software like Dreamcast Gun. A list of already released games compatible with the Vibration Pack is provided, including Confidential Mission, Pen Pen Triicelon, Sonic Adventure, GQ World Soccer 4, and Senkoku Turb. The page also covers the 9th Next Generation World Hobby Fair event, where Sega had booths, showcasing games like Sonic Adventure and Sega Rally 2. Yugawa Moto Senmu also appeared at this event. Finally, there's a section discussing the network situation for Sega Rally 2, touching upon server load and the initial online play experience, indicating user interest was high and server issues were being addressed to improve the online experience for players. Club Sega Shibuya is introducing a 1,000 yen IC game card for arcade machines, excluding metal games, to enhance efficiency and data collection. From February 5th to 21 Stone, Club Sega Shibuya will host events including tournaments and appearances, such as Yuri Nelson. Toyota will install Dreamcast units in dealerships as information terminals from February 15th for 29,800 yen, viewing it as customer service and a market expansion for Sega. A drama adaptation of Natural Young Girl Wan will air on WWW from February 23rd to 25th. The third CESA Awards nominees for 1998's Shining Game Software are announced, totaling 54 titles across various platforms. Public voting is open from February 19th to March 19th, with the awards ceremony on April 2nd. Nominees include games like Ridge Racer Type 4, Metal Gear Solid, Pokemon Stadium, and Sakura Wars 2. This page advertises the ASC2 Mission Stick, an analog controller for the Dreamcast. It is highlighted as the first analog controller for the Dreamcast from ASC2, designed for precision control, especially for flight simulation games. The stick part has 3 buttons, and the layout allows for button assignment like A, B, X, and Y. It also features turbo and auto-fire functions. The advertisement specifically mentions that it is ideal for flight sims and action games, mentioning the game Aero Dancing featuring Blue Impulse, stating that producer, Kujirai Takahiro, recommends using this controller for stable operation and to fully immerse oneself in the game's atmosphere, emphasizing the enjoyment of acrobatic flight. The controller is scheduled to be released in late March and is priced at 7,600 yen, excluding tax. The ad also shows the size of the controller compared to a Dreamcast console, stating it is a large size to give a sense of presence. This Dreamcast sales ranking chart lists the top 10 best-selling titles. At number 1 is the new RPG Elysium of God Machine World Evolution from ESP, selling 65,456 units and praised for its accessibility and replay value. Sonic Adventure is second, with 18,682 weekly sales, highlighting its cow-raising feature. Virtua Fighter 3TB ranks third, selling 10,764 copies, noted for its extra content. Action RPG Senko no Turbine TURB is fourth with 4,193 sales, emphasizing strategy. July, an adventure game with radio drama elements, is fifth with 3,357 sales. The shooting game Incoming Humanity Last War is sixth with 3,015 sales, featuring a 2-player mode. Simulation RPG 7th Cross Evolution is 7th, selling 2,823 units and known for detailed data. Good. Godzilla Generations is 8th, with 2,754 sales, supporting vibration packs. Racing game Penetrate Ice Run is 9th, with 1,631 sales, referencing race results, and Tetris 4D rounds out the top 10 with 1,548 sales, considered reasonably priced. This early 1999 page ranks the top 30 most anticipated Dreamcast games based on reader votes. Shenmue leads with 687 points, followed by Grandia 2, 598 points, and Resident Evil Code Veronica, 477 points. The weekly pickup spotlights Sega's shooting game, The House of the Dead 2, scheduled for March 25th release and 70% complete. Cyber Troopers Virtual Elan and Maken X also rank in the top 5. Other notable titles in the top 30 include D2, Puyo Puyon, Marvel vs. Capcom, King of Fighters 99, Psychic Force 2012, Gundam Side Story 0079, Blue Stinger, and Power Stone, showcasing a variety of genres. Screenshots of Puyo Puyon and Psychic Force 2012 are featured on the page. This Dreamcast Magazine page presents 2 ranking charts. The first, Transplant Wish Top 20 lists reader-voted games desired on Dreamcast. Rent-A-Hero, Mega Drive, tops the list, followed by Sakura Wars, Saturn, and Final Fantasy. Other requested titles include Virtua Striker 2 Feet 99, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Knights, Soul Calibur, and Metal Gear Solid. Rent-A-Hero's high ranking is noted despite limited Saturn appearances. Screenshots of Spike Out and Shining Force are included. The second chart, Video Game Income Ranking Top 15, ranks top-earning arcade games. Virtua Striker 2 Ver 99 leads, followed by Virtua Fighter 3 TB and Virtual-On Oratorio Tangram. Street Fighter 03, Tekken 3, JoJo, and Soul Calibur are also high-ranking. Beatmania Complete MIX is featured as a weekly pickup, highlighted as a music simulation culmination with 39 songs. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade and LA Machine Gun screenshots are present. This document outlines upcoming Dreamcast software and hardware releases, categorized by month and undecided dates. February 99 saw games like Power Stone and Pop-Un Music and the Pop-Un controller hardware. March 99 had a large game lineup including Marvel vs. Capcom, The House of the Dead 2 Feet, and hardware like Dreamcast Gun. April 99 featured Buggy Heat and Elemental Gimmick Gear, undecided release. May 99 listed Dreamcast Real Grand Prix, tentative. June 99 featured Climax Landers, and December 99, Rune Jade. Undecided game releases included Shenmue, The King of Fighters, and Get Bass. Undecided hardware included Dreamcast Controller, Camera Dream Battle, and other related product, utilizing the visual memory unit, was planned for March 99. This page from Dreamcast Magazine showcases the Dreamcast readers' race rankings for software currently on sale as of February 5th. The top 3 games according to reader votes are Sonic Adventure in first place, followed by Evolution, The World of Sacred Device, and Virtua Fighter 3 TB in third. The page highlights Evolution, The World of Sacred Device, as a new arrival favorite horse introduction. It includes a game screenshot and notes its RPG genre and price. Reader reviews describe the graphics as impressive for Dreamcast, praising the dungeon structure and character animation. Some reviewers found the battle difficulty low and enjoyable for RPG beginners, while others pointed out minor flaws like repetitive dungeon exploration and a slightly slow tempo in combat due to special moves. Overall, the reviews are positive, recommending it as a solid RPG experience. The bottom of the page teases Sega 2 as coming soon in the next issue and as a future ranking scheduled software, indicating it will be included in the next reader voting round. This page features a variety of Dreamcast content, starting with a review section for the game Sengoku Turb, which received mixed feedback. Some found the text difficult to read and parts unfriendly, while others praised its beauty. Player opinions and review scores are provided. Next, there's a ranking list for Dreamcast peripherals. As of February 5th, the top items are the arcade stick, Dreamcast controller, visual memory, Dreamcast keyboard, and Dreamcast passport, each with average user scores and release details. A section titled Dream Master's Voice shares player comments. Topics include receiving a new Dreamcast after repair, but regretting losing a specific manufacturing number, winning a handkerchief mail prize that was unexpectedly a sand playset, and the feeling that Dreamcast reader races might offer better prizes if participants intentionally miss predictions. The page promotes a Dreamcast reader race for its 6th installment, inviting readers to predict the ranking of the game Power Stone when it first appears in the charts. Winners can receive their desired software. There's also a review for Mozla Dream Battle, likely known internationally as Godzilla Generations. One player enjoyed it despite feeling it lacked connection with Awesome Godzilla and wished for more expansive gameplay, mentioning similar basic controls to Awesome Godzilla. Finally, a weekly special present announces a giveaway of an arcade stick and visual memory. It also lists the winners from the previous drawing. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Undercover, subtitled AD2025 Koi. It's highlighted as a Dreamcast special report and boasts, finally appearing, The Sound of the Beast. The page mentions a production presentation where the game was revealed on February 1st at 2:14 p.m. Undercover, from Pulse Interactive, is described as a 3D detective action-adventure game. It is set in a futuristic Tokyo and focuses on a female detective. Development started 3 years prior, kept secret until this reveal. The game is slated for release in early summer, price yet to be determined, and will be on 2 discs. The page highlights key staff involved in the project, including story writer Daisawa Arima, known for works like Guard Dog, music composer Gomi, director Yonadai Kaoru, producer Ishikawa Masayasu, character designer Kutsugi Kenichi, and movie director Mark Hamburger. They discuss the game's story, music, direction, and character design, emphasizing the Hollywood-style movie production approach being taken for the game's creation. The team is aiming to recreate the worldview held by the original story, taking reference from Hollywood movie production with a focus on story, characters, and music. This page is an urgent report on the production announcement press conference for Undercover, held on February 1st. The game is set in Tokyo in 2025 and centers around Kei Shizushima, a detective in the Metropolitan Police Department's 1st Investigative Division. 9 months prior to the game's events, she was severely injured in the head during an operation, leading to memory loss. Now, she is back on duty and partnered with a cat-type robot named Cat. The page details the game system, mentioning basic actions like walk/run, crouch, and strike/pull. It also highlights stealth mechanics, where players can hide and move while being unseen. The game features 3 stages. The opening stage is set in the City Hotel as a training ground, the mid-stage takes place in the 1970s-style Port Town Bay Area, and the climax moves to the waterfront area, Waterfront, which includes casinos and restaurants, serving as the headquarters of a criminal organization and the final battleground. Screenshots show in-game environments and character models, including keyam action. There's also a playback check section, highlighting an image advertisement for Undercover that ran from January 8th to 15th, depicting a gun and blood, hinting at the game's suspenseful nature. The page poses questions about the owner of the gun and the blood, suggesting mysteries within the game. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast version of The House of the Dead 2, a popular arcade shooting game that is coming to the Dreamcast. It highlights that the Dreamcast version will maintain the high quality of the arcade NAOMI board version and will be available for home consoles soon. The preview mentions that it will be released on March 25th, with a price of 5,800 yen for the software alone and 7,800 yen with the gun set. It also states it is a horror shooting game and supports 2-player simultaneous play. Screenshots showcase gameplay with zombies and the Ophiuchus Type 80 boss, indicating its weak point. The text emphasizes the game's fast-paced action and immersive horror experience. This page is a preview for The House of the Dead 2 on Dreamcast, announcing the simultaneous release of a dedicated Dreamcast light gun controller. The page showcases the Dreamcast gun controller and features an image of Mr. Nakagawa from AM1 Research, holding a prototype of the gun and discussing its high level of completion. The text highlights the gun's features, including directional buttons on the grip, expansion slots for visual memory and rumble pack, and compatibility with VGA monitors, emphasizing its advanced functionality compared to previous gun controllers. The tagline for the game is Terror Visits, and further details about the gun controller are promised on pages 20 and 21. The next page is focused on The House of the Dead 2, a popular arcade gun shooting game coming soon to Dreamcast. The page highlights the game's beautiful high-resolution graphics, noting its 640 by 480 resolution and 16.77 million colors, making it visually impressive compared to other arcade games. The game features an intriguing storyline set in the year 2000, involving characters James, Gray, and the mysterious Goldman. Players will face countless undead enemies, and strong bosses await at the end of each stage. Screenshots feature various zombies with descriptions: Kais, Mora, which seems to be a large insect enemy, Shigyo, or corpse fish, Randy, a small zombie that climbs walls and ceilings, Max wielding chainsaws, Johnny, and Ebitan, which emerges from water. David seems to be a more common zombie type. This page is focused on The House of the Dead 2 for the Dreamcast, highlighting its gun controller compatibility, which is being released simultaneously with the game. The article emphasizes the game's branching paths and diverse situations, stating that routes will change depending on player actions, impacting the story, and even boss strategies. The page shows gameplay screenshots and a diagram illustrating the branching path system, where choosing to help or not help a woman affects the route. The article also discusses new elements for the Dreamcast version, including a home console mode with original elements like continuous boss battles. There's anticipation for increased items in the game, with an 80% expectation for home mode additions, 60% for item increases, a low 7% expectation for free map movement, and a 2% expectation for VM minigames. These percentages reflect player hopes for new features in the Dreamcast version compared to the arcade. The page also mentions new arcade gun controllers and Saturn Virtua guns as compatible options. This page is about the Dreamcast version of the popular arcade game, The House of the Dead 2. It features an interview with Nakagawa, the AM1 department manager at Sega. Nakagawa mentions that the Dreamcast port is already 70% complete and is playable, boasting visuals that are very close to the NAOMI arcade version and are highly detailed even on standard home TVs. He clarifies that the Dreamcast and NAOMI systems have similar capabilities, making the conversion process relatively straightforward. The interview touches on the control system, explaining that while the arcade version uses off-screen detection for aiming, the home version will utilize a white flash on the screen for gun detection, similar to previous home console versions. There's also discussion about the use of the VM, visual memory, expansion slot for gun controllers, and the focus on perfecting the arcade mode experience first. Future home-specific modes are hinted at, potentially including zombie training elements. The page features a screenshot from The House of the Dead 2, showcasing in-game zombie action, and another image displaying the game's start screen. House of the Dead 2 inches for Dreamcast is praised for its superior port quality, with VGA-BOX enhancing graphics beyond previous versions. 3 Dreamcast gun controllers are detailed. Gun 1 is stylish and functional. Gun 2, the Puru Puru Paku gun, offers rumble and an LCD screen. And Gun 3 features a directional button for navigation and extra buttons. Developer Nakagawa revealed movement while shooting was cut to preserve the arcade feel, emphasizing the game is designed for the Dreamcast gun peripheral and meant for practice. A competition is announced where readers can win a glowing zombie antenna mascot by sending in postcards with their details and expectations for the game by February 18th. This page is a Dreamcast Magazine special report focusing on Shenmue. It's subtitled, Yu Suzuki Flower, January, likely referencing the character Shenhua and a development timeline or magazine issue month. The page highlights Shenmue as the #1 most anticipated Dreamcast software. Key details mention it's a Sega title planned for spring release, price undecided, and developed by Full Reactive Eyes Entertainment. The main text discusses the Shenmue calendar that was distributed at the production announcement event, emphasizing the anticipation for this new era. It mentions an interview with Yu Suzuki, the overall director, revealing previously unknown aspects of Shenmue, promising further interviews with the main actors over the next 3 weeks, which will be more than just typical interviews with voice actors. The article emphasizes the detailed motion capture work involved, going beyond just voice acting to include realistic movements like walking, running, and standing. The work has been ongoing for over a year, aiming for characters who feel truly alive. The text also mentions that the development team is getting closer to the real Shenhua, suggesting a deep focus on capturing the essence of the character within the game. The images show different portrayals of Shenhua, both in-game and potentially a real-life model, reinforcing the focus on this key character and the game's immersive realism. This page is dedicated to Shenmue and features a 3-week serialization Shenmue actors interview. The interview focuses on the concept of motion actors in game development, which Shenmue is pioneering, comparing it to voice actors in animation. It emphasizes how motion capture and voice acting from the same actor brings unprecedented realism to game characters. The page also includes autographs and mentions that the interview is with the 3 main character actors in Shenmue. In the emergency news section, there's an announcement for a Shenmue event at Club Sega Shibuya on February 11th. This event, celebrating the 4,000-year history of Chinese secret arts, Chinese acrobatic art show, will feature Shenmue's heroine actress Hazuki Ishikawa. It details handshake events at 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. at Club Sega Shibuya, along with a map showing the location of Club Sega Shibuya. The event is an opportunity for fans to meet Shenmue's Shenfa character actress in person. This page is an interview from the Making of Shenmue series, focusing on the actress chosen to portray Shenhua. The interview is with Sayaka Rei, who was immediately chosen for the role of Shenhua after her audition. The page details her experience with the audition process, noting that she was surprised to be chosen, as she didn't consider herself a voice actress. She also describes the recording process, mentioning that recording sessions take about 4 to 5 hours a day, working from Monday to Wednesday on data capture, and Thursday and Friday on voice recording. She compares the motion capture work to being in a full-body Mogu Mogu-kun suit, which she found challenging to get used to, but she is enjoying the experience and finds it interesting. The page also includes her profile, listing her name, date of birth as July 12, 1978, blood type AB, birthplace Hokkaido, measurements, hobbies including boxing and tennis, and skills such as drawing illustrations and Rakugo comic storytelling. Her entertainment career profile lists her appearances in an NHK Wednesday drama in November 1997 and a CF for NTT Docomo from March to May 1998. The next page focuses on Shenmue, revealing the secrets behind its realism through interviews with voice actors. There's an interview with Yusan and Ishigaki-san, who discuss their roles and impressions of Shenmue, emphasizing the effort to capture realistic movements and expressions for the character Shenfa. The page also features a news section announcing the upcoming launch of a Shenmue fan club and a giveaway of signed posters. Additionally, the Team Diary section shares an anecdote from a Shenmue recording session, detailing the voice acting style and the director's guidance. This page is a preview for the highly anticipated Dreamcast title, Shenmue, subtitled Mysterious Girl Dreamflower and Departure. It highlights the game's focus on realism, showcasing the lush forests, rivers, and mountains that form the game world. The preview emphasizes the use of real-time CG to depict changing weather and time, creating a dynamic and immersive experience. The article mentions the importance of character expression and emotion, showcasing the female character, Shenhua, and her detailed facial expressions achieved through motion capture. It delves into specific game features, like the magic weather system that dynamically changes weather and atmosphere, and the time control system, which alters the scenery from day to night in real-time CG. The preview notes the massive scale of character creation, with over 500 unique characters, each designed to feel individual and alive. It touches on the use of image boards in development to define character personalities and appearances. Furthermore, it mentions advancements in hand motion capture to create realistic and detailed hand and finger movements. Finally, the page introduces the character Dogyu, a large and imposing figure who uses image boards, emphasizing the game's detailed character modeling and the sense of presence they create. The overall message is that Shenmue is aiming for unprecedented realism and immersion thanks to its advanced technology and meticulous attention to detail, promising a captivating experience for players. This page is focused on the upcoming game Shenmue, highlighting the realism and new features of the game. It's titled, The Secrets of Shenmue's Realism Seen in the Latest Screenshots, and the main headline is, Yeah, the Beginning of a New Destiny. The page introduces the Quick Timer event system, describing a scene where the player must be careful of their footing while chasing a girl named Nozomi through the forest. It emphasizes the reactive nature of the game, with QTEs being effectively implemented in various scenes. The In the Forest section elaborates on the forest chase scene, explaining the impressive technology used to create realistic and detailed environments. It mentions how trees are rendered with realistic growth patterns, and how the game world operates under natural laws, creating a world indistinguishable from reality. The page also introduces several characters. Horishi A, the tattoo artist, is described with attention to detail in his design, including his tattoos and clothing. Aizen is mentioned as a martial artist, with a strong physique, and attention is paid to his facial expressions and clothing. Finally, Kaku and Shu are introduced as meat shop owners from Wan Chai in Hong Kong, suggesting they were previously revealed characters, and their image board is showcased. It also teases, character next week, and states that more Shenmue information will be in next week's issue of Dreamcast Magazine. This page introduces the Dreamcast exclusive suspense adventure game, Web Mystery, subtitled Premonition Seeing Cat. It's advertised as a suspense drama that can only be seen on DC. Developed by Team P Wonder, it's an adventure game scheduled for early April release at a price of 6,800 yen, and it will be on 2 GDROM discs. The page highlights that the game is 90% complete, with a message from the manufacturer stating that filming is going well, and they anticipate players enjoying aspects beyond just the gameplay, suggesting a rich experience. The focus is on the game's heavy use of full-motion video, with claims that 70% of the game is movies, 20% static images, and 10% internet browser screens. The producer emphasizes that the game footage looks so realistic it could be mistaken for movie stills. The game is described as suspenseful, with eerie scenes and live actors, taking full advantage of the Dreamcast's video capabilities. Screenshots showcase actors in bar settings, a woman, and a close-up of a knife, hinting at the game's mystery and suspense themes. The game is primarily movie-driven with interactive internet browser elements, differentiating it from typical adventure games by minimizing player choices in movie scenes. This page is about the upcoming Dreamcast title, Internet Mystery Labyrinth, which is part of the Web Mystery series, written by Kim Hwang. The game kicks off when the protagonist, Keisuke Tsuda, a former promising computer engineer turned freelancer, stumbles upon a premonition image that drags him into a murder case. Keisuke, played by Isu Tsuda in real life, meets Mio Yazawa, the heroine, who is a bartender at the internet bar Maze. Mio, portrayed by Asahi Morikawa, also gets caught up in the mystery through the premonition. Another key character is the idol Mami Taira, played by Aya Kawahara, a cheerful girl who is connected to Keisuke and becomes involved in the case, with dating sim elements included for her character in the game. The setting is the Maze internet bar, depicted with neon signs but operating as a regular bar with PCs for customers. The story escalates when Keisuke and Mio discover a disturbing webpage titled Cat's Eye, displaying a shockingly realistic murder scene, raising questions about its authenticity. The game's locations expand beyond Japan to include Korea and Hong Kong, as indicated by images of Korean and Hong Kong street scenes. This page details the filming of Web Mystery, describing it as being akin to a TV drama production. The article highlights that a significant amount of live-action footage is being recorded for the game, with filming taking place at the end of the year. Scene 1 is set in an internet bar called Maze, located in the Kanto suburbs. The article mentions that this location is the largest domestic filming site for the game. It also mentions scenes involving interactions between Kei and others, internet access, and the idol character, Asama. The internet bar shown in the photos is actually a renovated vacant house in Ibaraki Prefecture. But in the game setting, it is in Yokohama. The staff comments section features the director, Hirota Takeshi, who mentions the game's suspenseful atmosphere and oversees filming in Seoul and Hong Kong. Here, he notes the challenges of filming in various locations and weather conditions, including rain. He also states that the game will have over 2 hours of video footage, equivalent to about 10 drama episodes. The original author, Kimura, also visited the filming set and expressed his anticipation for the final product. The page includes photos of the filming process at the internet bar location, showing actors, staff, cameras, and lighting equipment. It emphasizes the authentic, drama-like production quality of the filming. This page showcases scenes from the upcoming game, WB Mystery. Scene 2 is set in the main character Kei's office during his salaryman days in Tokyo. It's described as a flashback scene, contrasting with Kei's usual wild style to show a different atmosphere. The text mentions, Kei used to be a computer engineer at a software company. Scene 3 is set in a police interrogation room, described as a tense scene where Kei is being interrogated by detectives. It appears Kei is involved in a murder case, and the scene aims to capture the suspenseful atmosphere of a police interrogation. There's an actor comment section featuring the actor playing Kei, Hideaki Tsuda. He mentions that the location shooting was enjoyable and talks about the schedule, mentioning filming in Seoul and Hong Kong. He says the atmosphere on set is good, and he is looking forward to part 2 of Web Mystery, suggesting there may be sequels planned. He also mentions the character Kei is depicted as someone who is not good at expressing himself, but is kind and gentle. The actor also hopes players will enjoy the game. The page highlights the contrast between Kelly's past as a salaryman and his current situation in the game's mystery plot, emphasizing the dramatic and suspenseful elements of Web Mystery. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Arrow Dancing, featuring Blue Impulse. The page highlights the Blue Impulse mission, which is a new mode where players can experience acrobatic flight. The article mentions that briefing sessions are included in the game, which are explained with 3 DCG movies and voice narrations to help players understand flight content. The briefing explains that after takeoff, players should retract the gear, raise the flaps, and climb to 1,000 feet while maintaining a pitch angle of 15 degrees. Another briefing section instructs players to roll 180 degrees and then level the aircraft when the heading is 340, noting that heading 340 is displayed as 34 in the HUD. The game is stated as being near completion, and the Blue Impulse mission is described as the main mode. The release date is announced as March 4th, and the price is 5,800 yen. Features listed include flight simulation, vibration pack support, and 4-player simultaneous play. There is also a news section which announces that Maya Sakamoto, a voice actress, will be appearing in the game. She is shown holding game boxes of what appears to be aero dancing games. It mentions her popularity, and that details will be on the next page. This page is focused on the Dreamcast game Aero Dancing Eye. It's highlighting the flight and debriefing aspect of the game, showcasing both success and failure screens. The success screen shows a score of 82 out of 100, with a "Congratulations" message, indicating a high flight evaluation. The failure screen shows a score of 55 out of 100, with a "Try again" message, explaining that failing to meet clear criteria leads to this screen, encouraging players to retry. The page also introduces the Sky Mission Attack mode, abbreviated as SMA. This mode involves flying within a set time limit, passing through targets to score points. Screenshots illustrate gameplay from the SMA mode, displaying the player's aircraft and targets. The page mentions that SMA is a challenging mode to master flight techniques and achieve high scores, emphasizing the depth of gameplay available in Aero Dancing. It also highlights the variety of aircraft available and the different camera views, including a cockpit view, that players can experience in the game. This page showcases 2 Dreamcast titles, Aero Wings and Buggy Heat. Yumi Haginara from the Shape Up Girls promotion is featured, acting as a voice actress in both games. In Aero Wings, she serves as the control officer in the training mode, guiding players from basic controls to HUD understanding. For Buggy Heat, she takes on the role of a navigator, instructing players on buggy driving techniques in the training mode. Aero Wings is highlighted for its variety of fields in free flight mode, allowing players to explore freely, including a night city setting with Tokyo Tower. Buggy Heat is described as a dynamic off-road buggy racing experience. This page features an interview with voice actress Mayumi Kajiwara, discussing her role in the game Aero Dancing. She mentions this is her second time doing voice recording for the game, and expresses her pleasure at hearing her voice in the game itself and providing voice guidance, finding it a unique and enjoyable experience. She also mentions that she is an outdoor type of person and enjoys sports like skydiving, and finds similarities in the scenery and atmosphere of skydiving and the game. The page also showcases screenshots of the game Aero Dancing, highlighting the valley and island stages, emphasizing the detailed environments, aerial combat, and beautiful scenery. Mayumi Kajiwara's profile is included, revealing details such as her birthday being February 12th, her blood type A, her hobbies including overseas travel and dance, and her sizes. The game environments are described as featuring deep valleys and islands, with contrasting green and blue colors, offering thrilling flight experiences. This Dreamcast Magazine page previews Puyo Puyo 4, Yan and Yan, highlighting its imminent release in 1 month on March 4th for 5,800 yen. The preview, boasting 90% completion, details new features like Puru Puru Pack vibration support, stage-specific characteristics, volcano, underwater, character-specific moves, an opening demo, and 4-player simultaneous play. Labeled as a truly new Puyo, it features voice acting by famous actors, marking a significant evolution for the series. A developer comment playfully notes the fast development and the mysterious absence of Carcoon. The page includes gameplay screenshots and character art, including Achan, described as the best archer in the Puyo world. Overall, the page emphasizes Puyo Puyo 4 as a highly evolved and feature-rich iteration for Dreamcast. This page is about the Dreamcast game Puyo Puyon, known internationally as Puyo Puyo 4. It reveals that the opening demo of the game is animated and depicts a scene where Satan opens a mysterious box and Arle encounters the Puyo Puyo circus. The page highlights the unique characteristics of each stage in Puyo Puyon. The Check Stage Characteristics section explains how each stage has its own gameplay features. The circus stage is described as using traditional Puyo Puyo rules, similar to previous games in the series. The volcano stage features varying amounts of Ojama Puyo, nuisance Puyo, falling. Normally the limit is 5 rows at once, but this stage changes that. The underwater stage features falling puyo that are slower due to water resistance, potentially causing time loss if players drop them too low. The falling speed of Ojama puyo is also altered in this stage. The relic stage is described as a stage where hard puyo, solid puyo that cannot be cleared easily, are placed at the bottom. Clearing puyo beneath these hard blocks is key to efficiently sending Ojama puyo to the opponent. Finally, the sky stage adjusts scoring based on the height at which puyo are cleared. Clearing puyo higher up results in higher scores, potentially 4 to 5 times more points. There's also a mention of an edit mode from Futari de Puyo Puyo, Puyo Puyo 2, where players can freely set stage elements. Puyo Puyon on Dreamcast boasts 4-player multiplayer, mirroring arcade, Windows, and Super Famicom versions, and simplifies controller connection. 4-player battles feature character selection but disable special skills for pure Puyo Puyo gameplay. 2- and 3-player modes are also available. Notably, this Dreamcast release marks the first time professional voice actors are used in the Puyo Puyo series, a departure from company staff in previous games. A detailed list includes characters like Arle Naja, voiced by Yukari Hanma of Cardcaptor Sakura, Carbuncle, Kurumi Mamiya, Skeleton T, Kenichi Ogata, and Satan, Kenichi Ono, among others, each linked to their voice actors' prior anime and game roles. The voice actor for Pierrot is not identified. This page introduces a new fan page section in the magazine dedicated to Puyo Puyon, called Puyo Puyon Paradise. The page explains that this section is for fans of the game and will feature reader submissions. There's a development diary section detailing the purpose of the fan page and encouraging reader participation. Chico's diary is also featured, which appears to be a narrative story about the character Chico and her dreams. The readers page section encourages fans to send in fan letters, illustrations, and ideas related to Puyo Puyon to the provided address. Marionette Handler is a Dreamcast programming robot battle game set in 2090 AD, where marionette battle competitions are popular. Players become marionette handlers by programming AI-equipped robots, marionettes, for intense battles. The second installment offers 3 marionette body types, emphasizing part customization for performance. The game, currently 40% complete, takes place after the Akilov War victory of the Earth Federation Army in 2053 AD, which led to a halted top-secret AI warfare automation project. The developer mentions 6 marionette bodies with varying performance and prices, encouraging players to choose based on appearance and strategic adjustments. Features include Micronet, and it is a programming robot battle game, with the release date and price undecided. Frame Grind for Dreamcast features a marionette customization system, allowing players to modify their mechs with head, body, defense, and back and leg parts. Head parts consist of the CPU command processing, radar, enemy detection, and memory, program storage. Body parts include the main motor, engine affecting speed and attack, and energy pack, fuel cell. Defense is represented by armor. Back and leg parts feature the accelerator, speed and aerial control, and damper, landing impact absorption. Designed for accessibility, the game aims for cute mechs and includes an operator character who explains settings, reacts to player performance, making it user-friendly even for mech game novices. The next page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Mahjong Taikai 2 Special. Mahjong Competition 2 Special. This game features a cast of 23 famous historical figures and personalities who compete in Mahjong. The tagline emphasizes brilliant Mahjong in a gorgeous city and highlights 2 main game modes, Mahjong Pilgrimage Mode and Tournament Battle Mode. The advertisement showcases several characters, including Sherlock Holmes, Nostradamus, Mito Komon, Abraham Lincoln, Cleopatra, Little Red Riding Hood, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Mozart, and Raiden, each with unique in-game dialogue. It also mentions various rule variations and customization options for gameplay. The game is described as a polygon mahjong game, where players can enjoy real mahjong with famous characters. It was scheduled for release on March 4th, priced at 6,800 yen, and supports 1 player. The advertisement boasts a 100% completion rate, indicating it was ready for release. A comment from the maker highlights the impactful character faces and encourages players to experience the true value of the Dreamcast with this title. This page is focused on the Dreamcast fishing controller and the game Get Bass. It's highlighted as an emergency report and first impression piece from the Fishing Expo. The fishing controller is described as having a rod and reel design, specifically for Dreamcast fishing games. It mentions the release date is planned for spring, and the price is 5,800 yen. The first compatible game is Get Bass, and a bundle with the game and controller is also planned. The controller features an acceleration sensor and a vibration unit. The article details impressions of playing Get Bass at the expo, noting the realistic lure action and rod movements thanks to the acceleration sensor. It mentions that the arcade-like feel of the game is well reproduced, and that the home version is highly anticipated. The page also contrasts the Dreamcast fishing controller with the PlayStation fishing controller. The bottom of the page provides a description of the controller's features, including its size, analog stick, buttons, and internal sensors. It also mentions the analog reel handle for reel speed detection. This page is a special feature focusing on Urawa Reds midfielder Shinji Ono and a motion capture session for a Sega Dreamcast soccer game. The article reports on a motion capture session held on February 5th, detailing the process of recording Ono's movements for use in a game. The text highlights Ono's impressive skills and mentions that his motion capture data will be used in the first installment of the J-League Pro Soccer Club Wo Tsukuru series, which is scheduled for release this year. The article includes comments from staff members who express their admiration for Ono's talent and the realism his movements will bring to the game. The page also hints at other soccer games like Virtua Striker and Victory Goal as possibilities for using this motion capture data in the future, suggesting a broader application of Ono's movements in Sega's soccer game lineup. Two staff members, Ohashi and Hanatani, provide comments on working with Ono, praising his natural talent and expressing excitement for fans to experience his in-game representation. This page is about an interview with soccer player Shinji Ono after a motion capture session. The page is presented in a magazine article style, with two sections detailing experiences related to soccer and the game development process. One section describes a fan's perspective, observing Ono, praising his skill in motion capture. The second section describes a writer's experience, observing the motion capture session, emphasizing Ono's smooth movements, accurate ball touch, and overall impressive skills. The interview section, titled Interview with Ono Players Who Finished Shooting, features Ono discussing his enjoyment of the motion capture recording, finding it fun and different from regular practice or matches. He mentions seeing his recorded movements on computer monitors and expresses interest in participating in similar Sega projects in the future if possible. The interview touches upon the novelty of seeing his own movements data captured for a game, likely related to J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru 99 for the Dreamcast, a soccer simulation game. The article also mentions motion capture being used for the game and the player expressing hope that his movements will be faithfully represented and enjoyable for players. This page is an advert for the Sonic Adventure Navigation Guidebook, scheduled for release in early March. Priced at 1,200 yen, this 160-page of 5-sized full-color guide comes with a special bonus booklet, The Cow Raising Album. The book promises detailed explanations of the game's mechanics, character actions, and strategies for all 6 playable characters. It will also cover item locations and tips for defeating bosses. The Cow Raising Album Appendix will teach players how to raise cow effectively within the game. This is a must-have guide for any Sonic Adventure player looking to master the game. This page is a Dreamcast Software Complete Guide Contents page that highlights walkthroughs. It lists several featured games with page numbers, including Sega Rally 2 on page 48, Sonic Adventure on page 54, Evolution, The World of Sacred Device on page 60, Sengoku Turb on page 64, and Seventh Cross on page 86. The page also features a large image of a rally car, presumably related to Sega Rally 2, and the large pink text, Tai Iki, at the bottom. This page is a guide focused on driving techniques for Sega Rally 2, specifically highlighting the importance of weight shifting. It emphasizes that understanding weight shift is crucial for mastering the game. The guide breaks down how weight distribution changes during neutral, acceleration, and braking, explaining how these shifts impact tire grip. It also defines racing terms like RR car, understeer, FF car, oversteer, gravel, grip, and deceleration ratio to help players understand the mechanics of driving in the game. Screenshots of Sega Rally 2 are used to visually illustrate the driving concepts being explained. This page is about racing game driving techniques for the Dreamcast, focusing on cornering and how to take the best driving line. It explains that in racing games, especially outside of circuit races, Choosing the right line is crucial for speed and time. The page points out that there isn't one perfect line, and it depends on the car and course. Sometimes even drifting through a corner can be faster than a grip driving line. It then delves into the differences between drift driving and grip driving. Drift driving is highlighted as being effective in tight corners and on slippery surfaces, allowing for quicker cornering speeds. However, grip driving excels in acceleration out of corners, especially on tarmac surfaces. The page illustrates ideal driving lines for different corner types, such as high-speed corners, which encourage inside line taking, low-speed corners that benefit from an out-and-out line, and consecutive corners where linking them together as one corner is recommended. The advice emphasizes maintaining speed by choosing efficient lines and using techniques like drift or grip, depending on the corner and surface type, to improve lap times. The game depicted in the screenshots appears to be a rally-style racing game, similar to Sega Rally Championship 2. This guide to racing game machine settings focuses on improving handling and control for faster lap times, rather than simply increasing speed. It explains transmission options. Automatic transmission, AT, is easier, particularly for front-wheel drive cars, while manual transmission, MT, offers more control with a negligible lap time difference. The co-driver selection is purely cosmetic. The final gear ratio is key. Low gear prioritizes acceleration for technical courses, and high gear favors top speed for fast courses. Experimentation is advised to find the best balance for each track and driving style, even mentioning that perfect settings aren't essential for winning. Diagrams and screenshots, possibly from Sega Rally Championship 2, illustrate these concepts. The next page is all about car tuning in a racing game, focusing on settings like steering, brakes, suspension, and tires to get the best performance. In the steering section, they are talking about choosing between steering responsiveness and machine stability. For steering, quick response is good but can sacrifice stability, while a looser setting is more stable. They mention adjusting based on car type, like 4WD, FF, FR being quicker, and RR, Mr. needing a looser setting. For brakes, the focus is on control over raw braking power. They suggest prioritizing brake control over outright stopping power, as overly strong brakes can be hard to manage. A slightly looser brake setting for better control is recommended. The suspension section explains how adjusting suspension affects handling characteristics. Softer suspension is good for drifting but can make the car unstable, while harder settings improve stability but can make it harder to shift weight. It also discusses adjusting front and rear suspension independently to change steering characteristics. Finally, the tire section is about choosing the right tires for different track conditions. They list various tire types like DRY/damp, damp/wet 1, damp/2, wet, asphalt DRY/damp, compacted gravel, DRY/damp wet, soft/wet gravel, asphalt snow/frozen, ice, and snow, each designed for specific surfaces like tarmac, gravel, snow, and ice. It explains the differences between damp/WET1 and damp/WET2 and when to use each type based on wetness and grip levels. Essentially, pick the right tire for the weather and surface to get the best grip and performance. The next page delves into the realm of 4WD cars in racing games, specifically highlighting their traits and driving techniques. It explains that 4WD, or four-wheel drive, directs engine power to all four wheels, boosting traction and acceleration, especially on tricky surfaces like gravel or wet roads. Ideal for rally stages. However, it points out the common 4WD characteristic of understeer, where the car tends to push wide in corners. The page advises on counteracting understeer through suspension tuning, suggesting a stiffer front and softer rear setup. Quicker steering and inducing tail slides are also mentioned as techniques. It emphasizes that 4WD excels in acceleration and standing starts. It also touches on the possibility of drifting even in 4WD cars, noting that less countersteering is needed compared to FR, front-engine, rear-drive, cars. A list of popular rally cars from the era is presented, including iconic models like the Toyota Corolla WRC, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution V, Subaru Impreza WRC, Ford Escort WRC, Toyota Celica GT-FOUR, Lancia Delta HF Integrale, and Peugeot 205 Turbo 16, among others. The screenshots on the page appear to be from a rally racing game, showcasing the 4WD action in a dirt track environment. The Dreamcast version of Sega Rally Championship enhances the original game with 19 cars and 23 patterns. Key additions include a range of rally cars unlockable through the 10-year championship mode. Notable cars highlighted are various Mitsubishi Lancer Evolutions, Subaru Impreza 555, Toyota Celica GT-FOUR and Corolla WRC, Lancia Delta Integrale 16 volts and 037 Rally, Fiat 131 Abarth, Renault Maxi Megane and Alpine A110, and Peugeot models like 205 Turbo 16 and 106 Maxi. Each car description often includes its real-world significance, color scheme, and unlock year. The Dreamcast edition also offers new modes. Get Machine Mode allows using championship unlocked cars in other modes. Unique DC modes encompass Time Attack, 2-player versus, network play, and car profile settings. Arcade mode begins with 8 cars, encouraging players to engage with the 10-year championship to access the full car roster. This page is an article focusing on Sonic Adventure, showcasing the adventure mode and storylines of the 4 playable characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Big the Cat. It mentions that by this point in the game, players should have access to all characters except Gamma. The article highlights key locations and objectives for each character. For Sonic, it mentions finding Amy and dealing with Zero at Mystic Ruins, and later converging at the Egg Carrier. Tails' story involves rescuing a frog in Sandhill, and entering a mysterious world, finding a girl, and the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and Tornado 2. Knuckles is searching for Master Emerald shards, and being deceived by Eggman in the Chaos Emerald area. Big the Cat's story is about rescuing Froggy, who ran away in Station Square. The page also gives gameplay tips and information related to specific levels like Ice Cap, Red Mountain, Ancient City, and Self-Destruct Switch. It hints at power-ups, level upgrades, and using light-speed attacks to break through obstacles. It mentions that Sonic and Tails' stories are progressing further, while Knuckles is slightly delayed, and Big's story is accessible after completing Ice Cap. This page is a game strategy guide focusing on Big the Cat's fishing gameplay in Sonic Adventure. It's titled, Get the Karukun, which refers to catching Froggy, and gives advice on how to play big stages effectively. The page highlights 3 key points for fishing success. Point 1 advises to locate the target fish quickly, by diving into the water to spot Froggy, as fish don't run away in this game. Point 2 emphasizes timing, and matching the fish's movements when reeling in. Point 3 explains how to adjust the reel strength so the line doesn't break, advising to manage the tension gauge during fights, and use action buttons for reeling. The guide mentions the stages Twinkle Park as the first spot, and Red Mountain, and Sky Chase 2 as special stages where you can encounter Egg Carrier. Screenshots showcase gameplay within these stages. The text also mentions the manhole leading to Twinkle Park and the pond within the park as the initial fishing location. It suggests that finding Froggy in the narrow pond is easy. Red Mountain stage in Sonic Adventure features thrilling rope sliding sections and diverse gameplay across mountain and cave areas. The mountain section involves climbing and valley crossings, while the cave area demands technical navigation around magma waves. Homing attacks are recommended for stylish movement and dealing with enemies like Spina. Enemies also include Kiki and the troublesome Gorera, found amidst fire and magma. Gameplay tips emphasize caution on narrow ledges and against fire traps. Effective homing attacks are key to defeating Spina enemies, while Gorera enemies are best attacked from above or avoided. Players should carefully time movements past fire pillars, and be mindful of wavy magma and collapsing platforms in the cave section to avoid falling. Careful, timed movements are crucial for success in Red Mountain. This guide summarizes stage tips for Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast, covering Knuckles' Red Mountain and Sonic and Tails' Sky Chase 2. For Red Mountain, Knuckles players should stay above valley cloud level to avoid misses. Utilize radar to locate emerald pieces, primarily found by defeating Spina enemies. Emeralds are on slopes and in the sky, and the stage features ground tremors. Effectively use radar reactions and move horizontally to pinpoint buried emeralds. For Sky Chase 2, players face the Egg Carrier boss. Shoot down missiles and bury into the airship's front to avoid lasers. Target the central cannon with lock-on missiles when it opens. Evade lasers by moving to the screen edges after attacking the cannon. This guide from Happy Chow Chow for Sonic Adventure details Chow evolution through animal interactions. Cow inherit traits based on animal groups they are raised with. Yellow sea animals improve swimming and alter head-ear appearance to yellowish-green, like penguin-raised chow with eyebrows. Red, forest/savanna animals enhance power, creating reddish, lion-like chow. Green, grassland animals boost jumping, resulting in blue chow heads resembling Sonic. Blue, forest animals offer balanced growth with random color changes. Purple, bird animals improve flying and power, giving stylish wings, like peacock-raised chow, sprow. Experimentation by raising chow with single animal types illustrates these effects. The article also encourages readers to send letters to Dreamcast Magazine's Gokigin Chow section. This page is the fourth part of a Chow team interview, focusing on chow raising in Sonic Adventure and Reincarnation. The interview features Takashi Iizuka, director, Shiro Miyakawa, planner, Toru Sokan, designer, and Yoshihisa Hashimoto, programmer. They discuss various aspects of chow care, including the concept of death and reincarnation for chow, emphasizing that chow are living creatures within the game. They explain that chow can die of old age if not cared for, but they can also reincarnate. The team talks about how player actions influence chow personalities and abilities, highlighting that there is no single correct way to raise a chow, encouraging players to raise them individually. The page includes screenshots of chow gardens and interactions with chow within Sonic Adventure, illustrating the concepts discussed in the interview. This page is dedicated to Evolution, the world of sacred device, known as Kiku Seiki Evoluzione in Japan. It's a guide focusing on the third dungeon of the game and offers advice for players tackling this part of the adventure. The page highlights that after clearing the distant ruins, the story continues with exploration of the third dungeon. It mentions that the main character, Mag Launcher, and Linear are investigating the Evolcio response as instructed by the Empire. The guide emphasizes preparing for the ice-themed dungeon, suggesting players equip themselves with items and gear resistant to ice attributes. It recommends leveling up to at least level 25 for the first floor and over level 30 for deeper sections to avoid being overwhelmed. Pepper is recommended as a helpful party member due to her ability to attack multiple enemies. There's advice on strengthening the Psy-frame, suggesting players use accumulated military funds from selling items and rewards from Societa. It mentions that players can upgrade parts up to level 5 and should prioritize frequently used parts. Screenshots show gameplay scenes including dialogue between characters like Mag and Linear, item and equipment menus displaying items like Pepper Box and Defense Ring, and dungeon exploration scenarios. It also suggests reaching level 27 as a good level for proceeding in the dungeon. This page is a strategy guide for the game Ruins of Shades, focusing on the She's Ruins dungeon. It describes the dungeon as a stone-built ruin located in a high mountainous area, becoming colder as you go deeper underground. The guide then focuses on the monsters appearing in the Shelley's ruins, highlighting 6 main enemy types. For each monster, the page provides detailed information in tables including their HP, FP, attack power, life force, luck, defense, evasion, and speed stats. It also lists their weaknesses and resistances, along with descriptive text explaining their attack patterns and behaviors. The monsters featured are Paleocaranoides, described as a familiar dungeon enemy who uses a sleep-inducing move and is weak to fire and ice. Hyenodon, a large hedgehog-like enemy with strong normal attacks and status-altering projectile attacks. Archaeopteryx, a troublesome foe with opposing weaknesses and resistances using wind and thunder-based attacks. Bacterio, a bacteria-type monster that appears weak but has high attack power, recovers HP and uses ice and fire attacks. Gambasu, a large rat-type enemy weaker in stats compared to similar monsters using tail attacks and poison attacks. And Crinoid, which has high HP and absorbs HP with light beams using gas attacks and being very weak to fire. The guide advises players to utilize the elemental weaknesses of these monsters to defeat them effectively. The page also mentions that enemies level up according to the player's strength, so battle strategy is important. The next page in Skill Data Part 2 focuses on Mag Launcher and Linear Cannon skills. It details obtainable Psy-frame parts and their skills for both Mag and Linear. You can see in-game screenshots of battles and skill ranges are explained, showing different effect areas like line attacks, all enemy attacks, and circular areas of effect. There are lists of skills with their TP and FP costs and effects. For Mag's hammer skills like Magna Hammer, Stun Hammer, and Sledgehammer, and Linear skills focusing on recovery and buffs, such as various touch healing skills and charm buff skills. Finally, there's a section listing specific Psy-frame parts like Hammer, Recovery Hand, Fire Hand, and Saucer, and where you can find them in places like the Blind Ruins, Descent Ruins, and Shea's Ruins. This page is a game strategy guide focusing on the game Grenade Pepper Box, showcasing the special moves for the characters Grenade, chain, and pepper. For each character, there's a list of special moves with their TP, FP costs, and effects. The guide highlights sci-frame parts, explaining how these parts affect skills and can be leveled up to increase power and reduce FP consumption. It also mentions that new parts can be found deeper in dungeons. The game appears to be an RPG, with turn-based battles where strategic use of skills and sci-frame parts is important. Senkoku TURB is an action RPG for the Dreamcast, costing 5,800 yen and released on January 14th for one player. The game centers around uncovering the backside of the story and defeating Dopa. Initially, the conflict appears to be between Gertrude's sheep army and the Cat Kingdom. However, the emergence of Dopa and the Irarian army reveals a larger threat. Gameplay shifts in this backside, with the sheep becoming allies, not enemies. Players now face the Illyrian army, encountering enemies like Solbattle Tre, laser attacks, Arawera, light beam tail, and aerial Shiloro units. Clearing stage 64 allows players to establish peace between the cats and sheep and interact with the sheep in town. This page highlights the backside of a game, revealing differences from the front side, primarily how weapons are acquired and used. On the backside, weapons can be purchased using Nyan coins at a weapon manufacturing machine located in stage 64. The page introduces 3 new weapon types available on the backside: the ray gun, Kusenju, effective for long-range attacks; the cannon, Taihu, which deals area effect damage; and the capsule monster, Capsule Kaiju, which summons a monster to fight for the player. It also details recovery item locations on the backside, suggesting stages like Stage 64, Fairy Party Nien, Stage 65, Juice, Stage 70, Garappa, and Stage 71, Fua Fua Furan, for item replenishment. The page further introduces various monsters encountered in the game: Moss, which stops and scatters thorns; Zoros, that shoots missiles; Jura, with a white breath attack; Unaju, a snake monster triggered by stepping on it; Last Unaju, a stronger snake monster with fire breath; and Koji, a fire-breathing monster unable to hit low enemies. The game being discussed is Nyan Cosmos, a Dreamcast title that was released only in Japan. This page introduces quests from stages 9 to 11 of the Dreamcast game Romania number 203. The article highlights 3 quests: Neko no Yume, Cat's Dream; Dokoka de Mitaka, Have I Seen You Somewhere? And Ryan Bunmei, Lion Civilization. The Neko no Yume quest, starting in stage 10 and ending in stage 12, allows players to learn about Cat's dreams. The Doka de Mitaka quest, both starting and ending in stage 10, involves talking to characters Moriena and Sonora Fesu to uncover information about Dopa, a character who appeared at the end of the front-side story. Depending on who you speak to, you get different perspectives about Dopa. The Ryan Bunmei quest, starting in stage 11 and ending in stage 15, tasks players with speaking to Dr. Hitsuji, who is in a collapsed laboratory near stage 18's. Hitsuji Hakase no Kenkyusho, Dr. Sheep's laboratory. This quest focuses on the Lion Civilization, and Dr. Hitsuji is the only one who knows about it. The page also provides character locations, noting that most characters up to stage 11 can be found in stage 64. Additionally, Afuchan is in stage 78, and Tokubetsu Kuma, specially made bear, can be found in stage 84. The article advises caution regarding Tokubetsu Kuma, as it is the same one from the front side of the game. Players are encouraged to talk to Tokubetsu Kuma multiple times to hear all 16 verses of its poem, which is described as an ancient message from Dr. Hitsuji. This Jinochan Times fan page appreciates reader submissions and features various segments. Message of the Week humorously addresses a comment about character comprehension. Stop Fishing addresses fan submissions using pro kuwa for characters, with editors apologizing for any offense and assuring stricter submission checks. The blog section showcases fan art from readers across Japan. A major call for entries seeks merchandise ideas for Yoshio Wants to Eat Goods, specifically for Taichan merchandise, with readers suggesting luxurious food-themed items like gummy candy and rice crackers. Finally, Destination Postcard Hagaki Also Wanted invites fan mail, ideas for new Jinochan's Desire Corners, character appreciation, fan letters, and failed stories to be sent to the provided address. The page concludes, by noting that submitted postcard entries are being processed. This page is an advertisement for the Black Matrix anthology comic, based on the simulation game Black Matrix. The game, released by NEC Interchannel, features a world where good and evil are reversed, and the protagonist is named Abel. The comic is a collection of side stories by various authors, including Masami Shinohara, Ryu Izumi, Yukiko Fuyumori, Kuniko Saito, Gunjo, Tomoyo Kujo, Yumi Ito, Yamato Aoki, Fuyuki Mizuhara, and Miyoko Satomi, with illustrations also by Masami Shinohara. The comic book is A5 size, has 146 pages, and is priced at 850 yen, with a planned release in mid-February. This page is from the Reader Contribution Corner Guru Powers and Dream Plaza section of the magazine, featuring reader submissions. The opening illustration for this week is by Nara Azuki from Akita Prefecture, depicting the Uzumaki sisters with a cat. The Dream Plaza section includes various reader contributions. One story is about putting cocoa powder on rice. Another part is a poll for readers to vote on a name from options like Gugu, Gura, Guvuvu, Longace, or Fifth, possibly for a character or feature. There's a section about the game D2, stating it's confirmed for Dreamcast with Sayama-san in the main role. A funny anecdote mentions a mother's comment about not being able to buy a game because Sazawa-kun isn't selling it directly. Another submission talks about different running styles, including a both hands up, butt, and small house style. There is also mention of the Sega Town Machida store. The page also highlights two games under genre sections. Under Genre is Free is Shenmue, with a report from its release announcement meeting, mentioning people who attended felt like they saw the future and expressing anticipation for its release, even wondering if coming out in 1 second would be too early. Under Genre is Go is Armed God, focusing on its polygon character concept and detailed movements. Finally, there are character profiles for Uzumaki Sister, Uzumaki Brother, and Uzumaki Cat, giving brief descriptions of each. The next page features reader submissions and artwork. In the Uzushimaki section, a reader from Fukuoka expresses concerns about the increasing number of dedicated game controllers, worrying they will only be used for specific games and become expensive dust collectors. They suggest manufacturers consider compatibility with other games, or release them when sequels are confirmed. Another reader from Kanagawa shares their fondness for older games, stating that recent games are not as enjoyable, especially action games being primarily 3D and RPGs, often revolving around defeating demon lords, which feels outdated. They appreciate 2D games and feel they are not inferior to 3D. The Guru comic section is advertised as filled with dark jokes and seeks heartwarming manga submissions. The Illustration Garden section's theme is Shenmue, showcasing fan artwork submissions related to the game. In Zoning of the Box Garden, a reader from Miyazaki expresses their enjoyment of box garden-style games built with real-time polygons like Shining the Holy Ark and Grandia, enjoying exploring detailed towns. They hope for more such games on the Dreamcast. Other artwork and comic strips feature characters with names and locations of the artists. Turner-chan from Chiba, Draco and Centaur from Okinawa, and Fighter from Osaka. One comic strip mentions Virtua Fighter. Another section is titled Sega Enterprises Story Mr. Bear. The bottom illustrations showcase more characters by different artists and their locations. Aoi Umemoto from Tokyo, Kiryuin Urika from Iwate, and Tumonji T from Hokkaido. This page announces a new corner called My Pet Bragging in the magazine, inviting readers to submit pet photos, self-portraits, and illustrations. It outlines how to submit using postcards and suggests adding comments or speech bubbles. The examples shown include reader submissions featuring game characters and references. One example features characters from the music game Poppin' Music, noting the cute characters and controller. Another example mentions Web Mystery and the character Kimberly. Shinki Sekai Evolution is also featured with a character named Chain, while another submission includes Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic Adventure and mentions seeing Sonic on overseas websites. This magazine page showcases reader submissions, starting with a humorous dojo opening announcement. Fan art galleries include Inkbrush Craftsman, featuring Poppin' Music and Ryu to Sakura characters, and Tokyo Small and Medium Business R. The no longer hardware-related section presents diverse content, Shenmue and Metal Gear-inspired art, arcade game discussions mentioning Spike Out, and a puzzle. Submissions also explore Sega Saturn games like Princess Crown and Sakura Taisen 2, including a reader's Saturn troubleshooting story. Game ideas like Alien Forest and Variant Cyber Tiger appear too. Submission guidelines and a Dreamcast Magazine Valentine's Day project with Sonic and Knights from Oita round out the page. This page is an advertisement for mail-order sales specializing in Sega Saturn software and hardware. It lists a vast catalog of Saturn games, grouped into new software and used software categories, alongside Saturn peripherals and accessories. The ad details pricing for all items, including delivery charges and payment methods, and provides contact information via phone and fax for placing orders. The bottom section explains how to order via phone or fax and payment methods like cash on delivery or bank transfer. This page features an article titled, "Otaku are works of humans," defining otaku as people who seek to confirm information using words and who are enthusiastic about it. The article delves into the nature of otaku, suggesting they are deeply interested in data and information, providing examples such as gravure idols and breast cup sizes. It contrasts otaku with practitioners, arguing that otaku are more fundamentally human due to their emphasis on language and the exchange of information. The article posits that datafication itself is a defining characteristic of humanity. The author is identified as Nimura Hitoshi, an AV reviewer and director who has written a book titled Everything is for Moteru, Being Popular. An illustration at the bottom of the page depicts a group of people having a jovial conversation, mentioning Kyabakura, cabaret club, and a phrase about being completely broke. Ending page covers game culture and Akihabara. It features articles discussing the challenges of accurate representation in interviews and writing, where nuances are often lost and authors feel misunderstood by editors and interviewers who simplify their words. A news piece announces the revival of Murakami Takashi's popular Project KO Squared figure at Wonder Festival, detailing its availability on February 7th at Tokyo Big Sight, with tickets at 28,000 yen. Another section addresses the rising crime in Akihabara, specifically targeting customers perceived as wealthy, moving beyond shop-focused theft to individual muggings and fraud. Game shops are implementing security measures, and shopkeepers express concern over the shift from Akihabara's traditionally safe environment to one where customers are increasingly targeted, even in back alleys, for their purchases. The articles warn of these dangers and urge vigilance. This page is a manga strip titled Samsung Yoshimatsu Theater, Nurse Na Job Less Than 3, featuring a trainee nurse named Motoko. The comic begins by referencing American Pro Wrestling and Master Madness, suggesting a wrestling theme, although the main content focuses on humorous nursing scenarios. Motoko is depicted using exaggerated methods while attending to a patient, resulting in comical and physically active situations. The humor is further emphasized by the patient's reactions and sound effects. The final panels include a joke about a PlayStation room, implying patients might be bedridden due to excessive gaming. While there are no direct Dreamcast game mentions, the strip is clearly intended for light entertainment within a gaming magazine. This page is an advertisement for Tokyo Game Designer Academy and Nagoya Game Designer Academy. It promotes their game creator courses, including Game Designer, Game Character Designer, Game CG Creator, 3D Graphic and Motion Character Creator, Game Planning and Scenario, Game Review and Magazine Writer, Sound Creator, Game Design Interpreter, and Internet Game Homepage Creator courses. The ad mentions that applications are being accepted for the communication lectures, and boasts being the #1 game creator school in Japan for graduate placement in game companies in 1999, with successful graduates hired by companies like Namco, Sammy, Sting, Ukes, and Enix. The ad also provides phone numbers for inquiries and mentions open campus events being held. This page is dedicated to Voice Slugger, a new tokusatsu TV show airing on TV Tokyo since 1999. It highlights that the show is based on a concept by the late Shotaro Ishinomori and features popular voice actors in all the main roles. The page introduces the 5 main characters of Voice Slugger: Ruby, Akira Muraki; Sapphire, Tenma Takeru; Emerald, Oda Daichi; Gold, Kajiwara Akiko; and Rose, Yugi Tatsumi, providing brief character descriptions and actor details. The storyline revolves around heroes who use voice stones to fight against the Moon Empire. There's an interview with Nakagawa Akiko, who plays voice slugger Ruby, discussing her role and experiences. The page also mentions upcoming merchandise, including music CDs, photo books, memorial t-shirts, and home video releases, and an appearance at the Wonder Festival on February 7th featuring a live Voice Slugger show. 2 music CDs are advertised, Voice Slugger Gold theme song, and another CD called Amino Chihare. Finally, an official portrait mookbook is also promoted. This page is an advertisement section called SKY Perfect TV Recommended Anime Information and Direct TV Recommended Anime Information, showcasing various anime titles available on these satellite TV services. Anime featured include Nightwalker, Midnight Detective Volume 4, Magical Princess Minky Momo Volume 12, Dreams of Crayon Kingdom Volume 10, June Journey, Photon, Green Star Photon Volume 6, Movie Version Pocket Monsters, Mewtwo's Counterattack, Akihabara Electric Town Group Volume 2, Sunrise of the Ogre Extermination Unit 2nd Term Volume 5 and Volume 6, Flame Month, Autumn Wild Geese Volume 2, Initial D Volume 6, Kindaichi Case Files Volume 15, Black Death Butterfly Estates, and brief descriptions are provided for each anime title. This page is a column written by manga artist Izumi Takemoto, who talks about receiving Shenmue goods from the editor, including a CD-ROM, t-shirt, sticker, and figure. She wonders what kind of game Shenmue is, and describes it as a 3D game where you can freely run around, although she thinks it might be difficult to play. She also mentions attending a Sega party where she drank a lot, highlighting Sega's generosity. She then humorously talks about buying a DVD player, but ends up watching Woody Allen movies instead of game content. The column, titled A Day of Old Year's Visit, touches on her feelings of being middle-aged and her reflections on her manga career, mentioning how she seriously drew manga 14 years ago and received praise at 26. She concludes by sharing her preference for relaxing in tea shops and entering a game mode for calmness. The next page is a column called Black or by Fumio Kurokawa, titled This Week's Theme, Time. The author discusses his thoughts on time and watches. Starting with his habit of saying his hobby is work, he reflects on his career changes, from the record industry to movie distribution, and how he felt time speeding up after age 28. He recounts his first watch, a Seiko diver he bought in university influenced by POPEYE magazine. Later, as a working adult, he acquired a vintage Citizen watch. He also shares a story about his father offering him a Rolex pamphlet, resulting in him choosing an Explorer model as his preferred watch. He currently owns several Rolex models, including the Explorer, Daytona, and Milgauss, considering them essential for valuing time. He concludes with his intention to use time effectively. The next page features an article called Game Industry Special Ring Round 7. It appears to be an interview with Hiroji Kayamayama, a musician known for his game CD Choukyukai from 6 years prior. The article discusses Kayama's views on parenting and family, particularly his relationship with his own parents, and his reflections now that he is becoming a father himself. He talks about his childhood, his rebellious youth, and how his perspective shifted as he got older, especially after his father passed away and his mother became ill. He emphasizes the importance of cherishing parents while they are healthy and active, which is the central theme highlighted in the bold title, While Your Parents Are Healthy, Be a Parent. He mentions feeling indebted to his parents for raising him and wanting to repay them. He plans to instill this value in his own children. The article also mentions his upcoming album, 99 Choukyukai Best and Super Remix, which is scheduled for release on April 23, 1999, through NEC Interchannel. A website URL is provided for more information. The article further highlights his work in creating music for multiple big titles in the game industry, positioning him as a versatile musician across various genres. This page is an advertisement for the website GameSpot Japan, highlighting it as the fastest source for game information in the world. It poses questions about the state of the game industry at the end of the century, the emergence of a new game machine, and the anticipation for Final Fantasy V-2i. The ad mentions the growing number of Windows gamers and suggests interviews with game creators and voice actors are available on the website. It also teases articles about new game titles, including rumors about Sega's new console, and offers content for PC gamers, including performance upgrades and graphics card information. The website promises to deliver cutting-edge game information for free. This page is an instruction guide on how to complete the Dreamcast Magazine survey postcard. It shows examples of how to fill in the multiple-choice questions and numerical answers, with clear, good example and bad example illustrations. The page also features 4 tables listing this month's articles, hardware, Dreamcast software, and Sega Saturn software. These tables are references for readers to answer survey questions about their interests and future purchases. This page is an advertisement for the Evolution, the World of Sacred Device, Perfect Guide Strategy Book. It highlights the book as essential for any adventurous player and suggests reading it to avoid regret. The guide boasts features such as complete scenario charts, dungeon guides, detailed monster and item data, strategic tips, and even a bonus manga section. This page announces the results of the 7th Cross Evolution Character Design Contest, a simulation RPG game for the Dreamcast, released by NEC Home Electronics. The winners of the contest receive luxurious prizes, including a crab gift and a poster set. The page showcases the winning Creatures That Don't Look Like Creatures designs, with judges' comments praising their originality and unique combinations of parts. The winning designs are Violent Housewife A, Samehebi, and Real Z Princess. A new contest is also announced, inviting readers to submit more creature designs using body parts, with a deadline of February 19th. Prizes for this new contest include original telecards and visual memory cards. In the Neurodoctor section, readers submitted pixel art designs, and the page features 2 examples referencing a baseball team logo and an Invader game motif. Finally, the page lists the winners of a poster lottery. EXPOWER in 7th Cross Evolution are crucial battle abilities categorized into 4 types. Attribute attack EXPOWER are elemental ranged attacks, fire, water, thunder, wind, with varying levels and effects based on environment. Recovery EXPOWER provides healing, low to full heal, and purification for status removal to enable natural healing. Special support EXPOWER offers utility like teleport, force shield for damage reduction, stat boosts, INTUP, status infliction, and the risky suicidal explosion. Lastly, fatal attack EXPOWER delivers instant death attacks like Death Curse, with success rate based on INT, ignoring elemental attributes. Understanding these EXPOWER types is vital for gameplay strategy in 7th Cross Evolution. This page is a guide for the Dreamcast game 7th Cross Evolution, presenting details on head and arm parts. The tables list numerous parts, showing their required components and ability modifications. Head parts primarily influence EX and power stats, with the INT stat reducing spiritual damage from enemies. Arm parts are the primary attack method, emphasizing the importance of selecting parts that are effective against specific enemy types, where attributes significantly affect attack power. The tables display a range of head and arm parts, such as Origin, Low Fish, Desert Bone, and others, along with their stat adjustments. This page presents information about the body parts and leg parts customization options in the Dreamcast game 7th Cross Evolution, known internationally as Evolution, the World of Sacred Device. The tables list various parts like Origin, Low Fish, Desert Bone, and many more, detailing their required components and ability enhancements. It appears to be a guide showcasing the different parts available up to level 29, encouraging players to experiment with combinations to create their ideal creature in the game. The bottom text further explains how body parts and leg parts affect stats and customization, highlighting the importance of choosing the right parts for gameplay. This page reports on the final results of the Pen Pen Tri-Isolon Time Attack Contest. It announces the winners of the contest, showcasing their names and records, with comments from Judge Nakamura. The Master of Pen Pen winner achieved a time of 2 minutes 17 seconds 23 milliseconds using the character Back from Ishikawa Prefecture. Nakamura praises the winner's drifting skills, particularly on curves. The second place winner achieved 2 minutes 17 seconds 53 milliseconds using Back from Tokyo, and third place is 2 minutes 18 seconds 18 milliseconds, also using Back from Ishikawa Prefecture. There's a special judge's prize awarded to 2 players, selected by Nakamura as his favorites. The page includes screenshots from Pen Pen Tri-Isolon, and a topics section discussing interesting ways to play the game, like reverse play and exploring unusual phenomena within the game's areas. It mentions horror courses and strange occurrences in Area 2 and Area 3, related to water pressure and penguin behavior. This page details results for the Dreamcast game Pen Pen Tri-Isolon, showing rankings for players who placed 4th or lower in a competition. It lists the top 3 fastest times for different areas within the game: Puru Puru Jelly Sea, Candy Village, Soft Cream Ruin, and Frappe Forest. A Master of Pen Pen ranking table lists players from 4th to 20th place, including their times, the character they used, Buck, and their location. There are also editor comments discussing the game's level 4 difficulty and the stroke timing. A behind-the-scenes section mentions the game's machine ghost data and jokes about coffin sets and white robes and candle sets. Finally, the page introduces Pen Pen House Pride, encouraging players to customize their Pen Pen houses with various items and themes, and showing examples of decorated houses and characters. This page is focused on a Dreamcast popularization project from Dreamcast Magazine. It features the Minami Aoyama Shoujo Kagekidan, a girls' musical group, with a first impression review of a Dreamcast game likely related to them, alongside a section about Dreamcast secret techniques. The page showcases photos of these girls, some playing Dreamcast games and others posing for the magazine. There's also a present offer detailed in a box, probably related to autographed photos of the girls. The text explains this is part of a grassroots sales plan for the Dreamcast, with Yugawa mentioned as a dedicated fan, and this initiative being presented from Dreamcast Magazine's point of view. This page is titled, Kuchikomi Power for Dreamcast Promotion. It discusses how word of mouth can boost Dreamcast sales, suggesting that increased console sales will lead to more exciting games. The focus is on using the Kuchikomi power of female high school students to promote the Dreamcast to a wider audience, as their opinions are considered highly influential. The page features first impression reviews of 2 Dreamcast games that the Dreamcast Magazine editorial department recommends for Dreamcast diffusion. The reviews are structured around 3 key points: simple rules, appealing characters, and enjoyable multiplayer. The first game is Virtua Fighter 3 TB, a fighting action title from Sega, released in November 1998. Comments from girls who played the game highlight that even beginners can enjoy it by just pressing buttons, and that learning the techniques makes it even more engaging. One comment mentions owning Sakura Wars on Saturn and being familiar with the Virtua Fighter series. Another comment mentions enjoying playing as the sumo wrestler character and the fun of playing against friends. The second game is Pen Pen Triathlon, a race game from General Entertainment, released in November 1998. The game is praised for its cute characters, described as something you'd want to put on a keychain, and its easy controls. It is suggested that the game is more appealing to casual players than hardcore gamers focused on time attack, emphasizing its simple fun and accessibility. This page promotes the Dreamcast National Popularization Project. It's fun just watching! Through interviews with Kiyomi Jugawa and Ayaka Hayashi, Kiyomi, a PlayStation and Sega Saturn owner, was initially uninterested in Dreamcast, but was captivated by Sonic Adventure's visuals and enjoys Godzilla Generations for stress relief. Ayaka, new to gaming beyond Mario and game centers, was impressed by Dreamcast's graphics and ease of play, expressing interest in purchasing one. The page highlights 3 Dreamcast games: Godzilla Generations, an action game praised for stress relief through city destruction, despite initial control confusion; Incoming, The Final Conflict, a shooting game recommended for couples, emphasizing mowing down enemies and beautiful graphics, though controls and objectives can be unclear. Finally, Tetris 4D, a puzzle game hailed as the most exciting, with simple, enjoyable rules and addictive 4-player battles, ideal for home play, especially on larger TVs for multiplayer. This page introduces the Dreamcast National Popularization Project and features interviews with Rui Kawasumi and Miki Takeda, who tested Dreamcast games. Rui enjoyed Tetris, Godzilla, and Senkoku TRB for its manga style, and found Intruder fun after getting used to it. Miyake, familiar with Sega through her brother, was impressed by Sonic Adventure's graphics and enjoyed Sega Rally 2's multiplayer. Game previews highlighted Sonic Adventure as deceptively challenging and characterful, Senkoku TURB as a manga-style action RPG with increasing difficulty, and Sega Rally 2 for its online play, detailed car settings, and overall driving fun. A live event at Shibuya Nest on February 11th from 1900 to 2030 will feature the 4 girls involved in the project, along with Chiba Saeko and others. Tickets are available via Ticketpia. The event is to showcase the girls and allow fan interaction. The next page is a guide focused on hidden techniques and gameplay tips for Virtua Fighter 3 TB. It reveals how to play as Dural in training mode by inputting specific button combinations at character select, start plus X plus A for gold dural, and start plus Y plus A for silver dural. That also explains how to select dural's special stage in versus mode by ensuring stage select is turned on. Another secret technique is the alphabet characters, accessible in training mode character select screen by pressing start plus X plus A or start plus Y plus A. The guide lists Akira, Lao, and Pi as examples of these alphabet characters. Hidden winning poses can be triggered by pressing guard plus punch plus kick plus evade buttons upon victory, with examples for Cage, Jack Harry, and Pi. The guide also mentions stage-specific Easter eggs, like performing Jeffrey's toe kick splash mountain on Dural's desert stage, and using Shundai on the snow stage for an excellent win. Furthermore, it details a calm level auto feature in training mode that dynamically adjusts the CPU difficulty, and a command input display mode that shows on-screen commands activated during the attract mode demo by pressing punch, kick, guard, and evade, then start. The next page covers various Dreamcast games. For Sonic Adventure, it explains how to play the cow puzzle minigame on the Visual Memory System, VMS, and details a method to infinitely increase cow by keeping them in the cow garden. Pen Pen Tri Isolon features 2 hidden characters. Hanamizu, unlocked by winning all courses, described as high performance despite his appearance, and Zakopen, unlocked by clearing the second round of all courses. Finally, for Godzilla Generations, the page explains how to view monster animations using button combinations and the Kaiju List feature. This page is promoting Dreamcast homepage creation using GeoCities, highlighting a feature called DC Reader Link. It's encouraging Dreamcast users to create their own websites and share them. There's a section showcasing example Dreamcast homepages with names like Baburi, Hironari, Chowmaster, Yupo, Raku, DS9, Kokichi, Hiroki, Doramata, and Tokai Emperor, each with a short description like, "Please look and see," useful for people who want to paste images. Sonic Adventure Cow Specialty HP, "Please come and see once. Check out my HP, DC related stuff." But it's not just that. Pure Look Confidence, "Please come by." Slayers is featured, and Horse Racing Channel. The page also features an interview with Ninomiya from GeoCities about the increasing number of Dreamcast users creating homepages. Ninomiya mentions that there was a large positive response to articles about creating Dreamcast homepages, exceeding expectations. He touches upon user feedback and suggestions, including requests for templates, and the busy times for website updates, which are typically late at night around 11 p.m. to midnight. Ninomiya concludes by saying that interesting projects are in the works for GeoCities, and encourages users to enjoy website creation. This page is a tutorial explaining how to customize text on Dreamcast web pages using HTML tags. It details how to change the font size and color using less than font sie greater than and less than font color greater than tags. The tutorial shows examples of how to write these tags and demonstrates how the text appearance changes on both Dreamcast and PC displays. It also includes a comprehensive color chart listing various color names that can be used within the less than font color greater than tag. This page is about MailChimp on the Dreamcast, a service where you can send emails to characters and receive personalized replies. It's a popular feature on the Dreamcast official homepage, Dreamcast. Initially starting with 6 characters from Jet Girls and Mysterious Boys Group, the service has expanded to include more characters, including Raspberry 4 and Mysterious Boy Group. A Valentine's Day event is upcoming, and the editorial department is planning a game-like experience around it, hinting at a contest where you choose who you want to receive something from. Winners will receive special CG images and postcards. The page shows images of the MailChimp characters and a screenshot of the Dreamcast email interface. This page details a Valentine's Day campaign run by Dreamcast Magazine and GameSpot. It is a competition where readers can win original Valentine CGs and postcards. To participate, readers need to find 2 keywords hidden on the GameSpot website, accessible via the provided URL. These keywords must be included in an email, along with a message, to a specific email address. Successful participants will receive a reply email with a URL to view an original CG image. Further participation by sending in a postcard with name, address, and details from the CG image webpage will enter readers into a draw to win a postcard. The page highlights important rules of participation, encouraging readers to follow the instructions to ensure they are eligible to win, and to keep their messages under 100 characters. It mentions that the preview of the Raspberry 4 project, which is popular with schoolgirls, was on December 18th. This page is a Jet Girl's Raspberry 4 Special feature section. It appears to be a conversation or interview with two individuals, referred to as RED and BLUE, about email communication and Valentine's Day. RED discusses enjoying email exchanges, mentioning an instance where a reader repeatedly read her replies, and how email interactions have broadened her perspective even with unfamiliar people. She also mentions starting swimming last year for fitness, and that it improved her typing speed. Blue refers to herself as the most popular respondent. She talks about being an email friend and feeling gratified when readers are encouraged by her messages, especially those facing challenges like exams or breakups. She mentions her Valentine's Day plans to give chocolate to her manager, possibly out of obligation rather than genuine affection, and recalls a past Valentine's Day memory of failed homemade chocolate. She also apologizes to users for a past email delivery problem in January and encourages those who didn't receive emails to contact her again. This interview section for a Valentine's Day project features 4 characters discussing email and Valentine's experiences. Black values heartfelt and understanding emails, noting a decrease in rude emails. Purple enjoys energetic, humorous emails and fondly recalls giving Valentine's chocolates to club seniors. They also mention feeling lighter due to training and interest in sports. Pink finds conveying feelings through text challenging, preferring calls, but appreciates emails praising their cooking. For Valentine's, Pink and their mother bake a cake for their father. Raspberry 4 feels email has helped them discover a new self and enjoys meeting diverse people. They enjoy cooking and will make Valentine's chocolates for their manager. They practice Aikido and seek mind and body training. This section also promotes Dramaga's Keyword Present, a contest where readers find keywords within the magazine, email them by February 11th, application period, Feb 5 to 11, and can win a prize. A keyword is Dreamcast. This page from Naomi's room introduces Episode 2 of the Dreamcast action game Zombie Revenge, which is described as a revamped version of Zombie Zone. The game is an action title with 2-player capability and is stated to be 85% complete with a release date yet to be decided. Screenshots depict gameplay in sewer and underground environments where players combat zombies. The page highlights that this episode focuses on biological weapons, with details about the story involving a mysterious man named ZED and a floppy disk, with data leading the protagonists to a plant in the D4 district and into underground sewers, where they face hordes of zombies and a mysterious biological weapon. This page previews Episode 3 of Zombie Revenge, described as Enigma ZED no Otoko, or Enigma Man ZED. The article teases the story of ZED, a mysterious man who seems to control zombies. Screenshots illustrate gameplay in a factory setting, emphasizing large hordes of zombies and the use of machine guns to combat them. One screenshot highlights a powerful boss character that uses fire attacks. The text in the screenshots emphasize the action-packed gameplay, with phrases like, "Here too, lots of zombies. Defeat them with a machine gun," and "even stronger bosses." The page also includes a Dreamcast Magazine check section for the upcoming AOU show on February 17th and 18th. It lists several NAOMI arcade titles from Sega expected to be shown, including Crazy Taxi, Dynamite Baseball NAOMI, Derby Owners Club, and Zombie Revenge. Finally, a NAOMI schedule table lists several NAOMI games and their developers. Notably, Power Stone by Capcom is marked as 100% complete, indicating it is ready for release soon. Other games mentioned are Ring Out 4x4, Sega, Dead or Alive 2, Tecmo, and Gunbeat, Treasure. This page is centered around Rent a Hero Returns, a B-grade action RPG for the Sega Dreamcast. It details how the original Rent a Hero on Mega Drive, developed by Sega AM8, was a parody-filled game that gained cult status. The staff for the Dreamcast version includes Okamura Yasuyuki, who moved from VF2, and designers and composers from VF3 and Spikeout. The game was released on September 2nd, 1999. There's a Transplant Hope ranking chart, where Rent a Hero is currently in first place for the 4th consecutive week, beating out the Sakura Wars and Final Fantasy series. The magazine is encouraging readers to keep it at number 1. Reader submissions are featured. One section is titled, Old Rent Team Rallying, showcasing comments from fans and developers. Another section is Absolute Purchase Declaration, encouraging readers to declare their intention to buy the Dreamcast version. The page also includes recruitment for reader submissions and contributors to the magazine, focusing on Rent a Hero Returns and invites readers to write in with comments and fan art. The magazine is looking for reader input and involvement in their coverage of the game. The next page showcases Mobile Suit Gundam RX 782 Gundam under the Sunrise Robot of CG World banner as part of the Sunrise Heroic Saga Chronicle Volume .01. This feature appears to be highlighting the RX 782 Gundam from the original 1979 TV anime Mobile Suit Gundam. The page presents detailed images of a CG Gundam model, along with specifications and descriptive text. The data section lists details such as the Gundam's height at 18 meters, weight at 43.4 tons, weapons including a 60mm Vulcan gun, beam saber, beam rifle, hyper bazooka, and Gundam hammer, and its pilot as Amuro Ray. It's also noted that the material is Luna titanium alloy, later improved with magnetic coating technology to enhance reaction speed. The explanation section elaborates on the RX 782 Gundam as a new mobile suit deployed by the Earth Federation forces in the 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam TV series. It highlights its pioneering features as the first mobile suit to use a beam rifle and discusses its core block system, emphasizing its part compatibility with other RX series units and G parts for enhanced armament, allowing for transformations into fighter jets and bombers. The page concludes by mentioning that this CG model was created for making CG Gundam visuals, showcasing the craftsmanship and realistic representation in the model. This page is a special feature titled Akihabara Deep Zone, focusing on the evolution of games, anime, and character goods in Akihabara. The article describes Akihabara as transforming from an electronics town into a center for game and anime culture. It recounts its history, starting from the radio and BCL boom era in the late 70s, through the rise of personal computers in the mid-80s, and finally to the current multimedia age with games. It mentions major electronics retailers and shops selling discounted Famicom games, illustrating the area's growth into a key location for games and anime-related products, especially with the emergence of CD and DVD-based multimedia content and stores like DiscMap. The article positions Akihabara as the go-to place to find unique items that may not be readily available elsewhere due to its specialist nature. The next page focuses on Akihabara as the mecca for anime, game goods, and hobbies. It highlights the area's evolution, mentioning initial release bonuses for games drawing in customers. The article points out that even back then in Akihabara, lines for games on release day were mostly seen at famous stores that included telephone cards and posters. A specific popular love simulation game, which was also available on Saturn and PC, caused long queues on its release date. The piece describes how Akihabara's Radio Kaikan was, 10 years prior, a hub for PC freaks. Now on the third floor, you'd find KBOOKS selling recycled anime goods, and on the fourth floor, a sea of garage kits. By the sixth floor, figures were sold in boxes, referencing Nakano Broadway as a similar otaku building hub. While a past boom may have subsided, trading cards and doujinshi sales remain strong, establishing Akihabara as a new kind of district. The article concludes by speculating on future products and store openings, emphasizing the constant discoveries Akihabara offers, and expressing a desire to keep watching its trends. This page is an advertisement for Radio Kaikan in Akihabara, which is described as a gathering place for mania shops like Ocean Hall, Vokes, and KBOOKS. It highlights Radio Kaikan as a renewed building for Akibake trends, offering everything from figures to imported DVDs. The Akihabara showroom section showcases various figures and dolls, including items from 5-Star Stories, Getter Robo, Cardcaptor Sakura, and Time Bokan. The biggest garage kit museum in the city section advertises a wide range of garage kits, featuring characters from Tiger Mask, Fist of the North Star, Gao Gaigar, and Gamera 3. There's also a small local tip at the bottom mentioning discount supermarkets near Junior Guard in Akihabara. This page is an advertisement from KBOOKS Akihabara store, highlighting anime and game rare items. It features a variety of merchandise, including telecards and calendars related to popular anime and games of the time. Some of the featured series include 1 Kagayaku Kisetsu E, Calendar 1999, and Sentimental Graffiti. There's also mention of OVA Piacarat A Yukoso, 2 Sakura Taisen OVA, and Magical Kanon. The bottom half of the page advertises imported Western movies now available on DVD. It showcases titles such as Ghost in the Shell, noted as a Japanese anime enjoyed in both English and Japanese. Small Soldiers, Deep Impact, Out of Sight, Quartermass in the Pit, Dracula, Rujin Z, and Bubblegum Crisis, highlighting the availability of these films on DVD at the time. This page is a catalog showcasing anime and manga character goods, figures, and related merchandise available in Akihabara stores like Animate, Gamers, and Comic Tora no Ana. It highlights popular anime series like Cowboy Bebop, Cardcaptor Sakura, Berserk, and His and Her Circumstances, offering items like cushions, straps, LLD cases, towels, and stainless steel bookmarks. For game-related anime, series such as Two Heart, White Album, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Guardian Recall, and Palette are featured with items such as trading cards, CD carriers, and soundtracks. There is a strong emphasis on Cardcaptor Sakura figures, showcasing different types and scales of Sakura Kinomoto figures in various costumes. The page also gives a recommendation on shopping in Akihabara, mentioning store promotions at Ishimaru Denki and Softmap, discussing the benefits of tickets and cashback versus direct discounts. This page showcases anime DVDs and retro game goods available at Ishimaru Denki Soft 1. DVD titles featured include the suspense anime Perfect Blue, Bruce Lee's Dragon, The Bruce Lee Story, and anime such as People of Nonomura Hospital, Kite, Armitage 2i, Metropolis, and Idol Janshi Rina Angel Lina. Also highlighted are Neon Genesis Evangelion DVDs. The page then transitions to cosplay, showcasing various costumes from pirates-themed swimwear to school gym clothes worn by Ami Ikeda in a video. Other costumes include an ANA stewardess uniform replica, Sailor Moon outfits, and general popular anime costumes. There's also a mention of the popular Anna Miller's waitress uniform, Amuro's casual wear, Chun-Li's costume, and Asuka's plug suit from Evangelion. Prices are listed for each costume. Finally, the page covers Tri Amusement Tower, focusing on retro arcade games. It mentions the appeal of playing classic games like Hyper Neo Geo 64, SDI, Gradius, Bonjack, and Dokuben 2 in a dedicated arcade setting, emphasizing the immersive experience of these older titles. This page is a complete directory of Akihabara shops. It lists a wide variety of stores specializing in games, anime, manga, and related merchandise. The guide provides shop locations, opening times, and contact information to help shoppers navigate Akihabara and find what they are looking for. It's a handy resource for anyone exploring Akihabara's diverse retail offerings. This page is a map of Akihabara, Tokyo, titled Must See, Latest Map, Super Easy. Akihabara Walking Guide, designed to help people navigate the area with its back alleys and confusing shop locations. The map highlights various shops and areas within Akihabara and includes numbered zones with cartoon characters to make it visually appealing. It seems to be a guide for visitors to Akihabara. This page showcases online resources for Akihabara, presenting it as a virtual Akihabara guide for Dreamcast owners. It lists website homepages for various Akihabara spots. ASM Akihabara Shopping Mall provides a city guide online. Messe Sano is highlighted as a growing game shop website with information on special offers and PC game news. Tri Inc. is presented as a source for game boards and arcade game information. Further listings include general Akihabara homepages, maps, K-books, and Medialand homepages. The bottom section discusses PC sales trends in Akihabara over the past year, mentioning events like the Windows 98 launch and predictions for future sales. Cyber Team in Akihabara, broadcast in 1998, symbolized Akihabara's rise as a games and anime wonderland. The anime features cute girl protagonists and their android companion Patapi, balancing everyday life with android warrior drama. The article notes Akihabara's economic struggles in 1998 due to downturn and PC Maker direct sales, with a shop owner expressing concern about survival. 1998 also saw internet technology advance with Microsoft and Apple's innovations, culminating in Dreamcast solidifying network gaming in 1999. The article mentions anime release details including video and laserdisc prices, and a summer theatrical release alongside revolutionary Girl Utena. Akihabara Lokomi information highlights shops like Ayashi Shop and Akibao, mentioning used software availability at Kaze no Fune. The article concludes with a profile of writer Gensei Shimakawa, author of books about Akihabara. This page from Sega Saturn magazine, dated February 19, 1999, is highlighting upcoming games under the Coming Soon Soft section. It lists several titles including The Paladin's Sword Legend, which was known as Xianjian Qixia Zhuan in Chinese and was not released internationally. Also mentioned is Dungeons & Dragons Collection, a compilation of classic D&D arcade games. The list continues with Kiss Yori, which translates to From Kiss, and Device Rain, a Japanese exclusive title. Finally, Imperial Capital Jungle is listed, which is likely a Japanese title. The page also refers to the Sega Saturn Magazine data station and a Sega Saturn reader race. Anime-style character art is used to decorate the page. This page showcases the Sega Saturn Weekly Data Station, detailing the top 10 best-selling games and the top 10 most anticipated upcoming titles. In the sales chart, Roommate W2 of Us tops the list, followed by Sakura Wars Taigeki Graph and Girl Doll Toy. Other popular titles in the top 10 include Lapis Snow, Welcome to Pia Carrot 2, and Sentimental Graffiti, alongside Strategy Guide, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition Strategy Guide, Noel 3, Budget Release, Sakura Wars, Sega Saturn Collection, and Sonic R. The user anticipation ranking is led by Sonic 3D Blast, followed by Dungeons & Dragons Collection, and Ways and Ways. Other games in the top 10 most wanted include Derby Stallion, Real Sound 2, Friends the Radiance of Youth, With You I Want to Gaze at You, Better Than Kiss, Monster Maker, Holy Dagger, and Tsuchipai's Secret Album. Below these rankings there's a release schedule calendar listing upcoming Sega Saturn titles, including Device Rain, various Dungeons & Dragons collections, Sengoku Turb, Falcom Classics Collection, Kyukyoku Mahjong Bozu 2, The House of the Dead, Sega Saturn Collection, Pro Baseball Greatest 998, Sega Saturn Collection, and Chokyu Daibukan Island, Quiz and Quest Park, Sega Saturn Collection. Also listed are Techno Motor, Better Than Kiss, regular and limited editions, and Tsuchipai's Secret Album, with future releases slated for Professional Instructor Mahjong Soldier, Friends the Radiance of Youth, Yoko's Talking Room, Millennium Fire, Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 3, The Poems of Light Years, and Sonic 3D Blast. This page showcases the weekly reader vote rankings for Sega Saturn games, highlighting the reader's race for the week of February 5th. It's a popularity contest among all 1131 Sega Saturn titles currently on sale, based on votes from readers. At the top of the chart is Yuno, A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, followed by Shining Force 2 I Scenario 3, Icy Flame of Destiny, and Sakura Wars 2, Thou Shalt Not Die. The page explains that this corner of the magazine compiles reader evaluations of Saturn games, aiming to reflect real-time popularity and influence purchasing decisions, encouraging readers to participate by sending in their votes and comments. This page is a review of the Sega Saturn game Dungeon Master Nexus. It's highlighted as a recommended masterpiece. The review praises the game for letting you create your own unique hero, emphasizing the deep immersion player's experience. It mentions the game as a port of Dungeon Master 2 for Mega CD, released about 5 years prior, and highlights the feeling of exploration and survival, such as needing to eat to avoid starvation and rest when stamina depletes. The review notes the improved gameplay and visuals in the Saturn version, especially the polygon graphics, and the refined control scheme, which moved from mouse-based controls to the Saturn's standard controller, or the Marcon controller. The System Check section points out that character abilities increase based on actions, like weapon use increasing warrior levels, and incantations boosting magic levels. This system is described as unique to the Saturn Nexus version. Reader comments express the intense sense of survival the game provides, setting it apart from other real-time games, and praises the Saturn port as the best version. A developer comment from Kobayashi of Victor emphasizes the game's essence as a true game experience, contrasting it with recent RPGs that felt more like being shown or directed through a story, and encourages players to enjoy the challenging world and survival aspects. On the right side of the page is a Saturn B odds table, which seems to be a ranking list of Saturn games with scores and genres. This page is a ranking list for Sega Saturn games, titled Odds Table Saturn C. It presents a long list of games ranked by score, along with their genre. It looks like a reader popularity chart, presenting a vast catalog of Saturn games ranked by popularity scores. Many titles listed here were Japan-only releases and represent a significant portion of the Sega Saturn's game library in Japan. The page showcases the breadth of the Saturn's software, from various genres like RPG, action, adventure, simulation, and more, highlighting the games popular with readers at the time. This page is dedicated to Sega Saturn and Dreamcast content. It features Saturn odds tables ranking games and peripherals based on player scores, primarily for Japanese titles, listing examples like Tri-Rush Deppy and Virtua Stick Pro. Player comments on Virtua Cop are highlighted in Voices of High-Class Horse Owners, praising its multiplayer and replayability. Soft Saturn Review discusses reader opinions and the magazine's approach to software reviews, aiming to continue rankings despite page reductions. Postcards are for Dreamcast section promotes Dreamcast content, announcing Dreamcast Reader Race and Odds Prediction Game Double Chance contests. The Reader Race involves predicting the ranking of Absolutely Natural Posture Induction Exciting Power Stone, while the Odds Prediction Game asks for score predictions for pop music. Lastly, a DC Joystick and Visual Memory Present advertises a contest where 5 winners can receive Dreamcast hardware and a game, requiring postcard entries with comments, ratings, and contest predictions by February 11th. This page is an advertisement for the Taigeki Graph in Sakura Wars official guidebook. It highlights that the guidebook is focused on the content and highlights of Disc 1 and 2 of the game, and introduces event conditions and other game elements for each character in an easy-to-understand manner. It also covers mini-games and even obscure hidden elements, promising detailed follow-through content. The guidebook is priced at 1,000 yen plus tax, is A5 size, 80 pages, and in full color, and is currently on sale. This page highlights the Sega Saturn game Legend of Sword and Fairy, an RPG originating from Taiwan, developed by Softstar Entertainment. This Asia game is making its debut in Japan, promising a unique Asian flavor, distinct from typical Western-style RPGs. Released on March 4th and priced at 5,800 yen, this Allege's RPG boasts character designs by the popular Taiwanese illustrator Chen Shufen. Set in a fantastical ancient China, the game follows a protagonist skilled in martial arts who joins a girl with mysterious powers on a journey to find her missing mother. Along the way, they encounter companions, get involved in various events, and possibly even experience romance. Battles are presented in a quarter-view perspective, with command-based selections. Magic and special moves feature effects with a Chinese aesthetic, offering a different feel compared to standard fantasy RPGs. The backgrounds and monsters are detailed, and terrain plays a significant role in battles. The Saturn version also includes an opening movie not found in the original PC release. This page is a preview for the Sega Saturn game Dungeons & Dragons Collection, a compilation of 2 classic arcade games. This collection features Dungeons & Dragons, Tower of Doom, and Dungeons & Dragons, Shadow over Mystara. The page highlights the basic gameplay system, which is described as an action RPG, where players gain experience points, level up characters, and use items and magic to defeat enemies. It mentions strategic gameplay with varied approaches. A section discusses the differences in controls between Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara, particularly focusing on the dash attack maneuver, which is executed differently in each title. Shadow over Mystara is described as more player-friendly, with improvements like item sliding and an added emergency evasion move that makes the character invincible for a short time when using simultaneous attack and jump buttons. The 100% completion box announces the game is scheduled for release on March 4th by Capcom. The standalone software will cost 5,800 yen, and a bundle with 4 megabytes of RAM will be 7,800 yen. It's an action game supporting 1 to 2 players, and surprisingly, only Shadow over Mystara requires 4 megabytes of RAM. The text emphasizes the grand scale of adventure in a world of swords and magic across 2 CDs, inviting players to enjoy it solo or with friends, and stating it's very soon. This page is a preview for the Sega Saturn version of Dungeons & Dragons, Shadow over Mystara. The page details the branching paths in the game and how player choices impact the adventure and the items and treasures they can obtain. It emphasizes the variety of stages and situations players will encounter. The article highlights Tower of Doom Stage 1, Besieged Merchants, and Shadow over Mystara Stage 1, Goblin Besieged Trintan Village, as examples of the game's stages. It describes how monsters have attacked merchants on their way to the mountains, and how players must choose whether to go to the mountains where undead monsters are present, or to the town where goblins and kobolds are causing chaos. The page also mentions a feature where players can destroy a vehicle and rescue villagers, and depending on the player's name input, their initial equipment will change, adding a hidden element to the game. Screenshots show gameplay in both the forest and village environments, showcasing battles against various enemies and the visual style of the game. This page is a preview for the Sega Saturn game Kiss Yori, a romance simulation adventure game scheduled for release on March 18th. The game will be priced at 7,800 yen for the limited edition and 6,800 yen for the regular edition. The development is stated to be 85% complete. The page introduces the character Chihiro Asaoka, a classmate from junior high school. The storyline revolves around the protagonist's summer vacation changing when his mother goes overseas, leaving him to manage living expenses. This leads him to take on part-time work and encounter various girls. Screenshots show scenes from the game, including conversations between characters like Chihiro Asaoka and Yuji Ito. One screenshot highlights the Rainbow Promenade as a date spot where the protagonist meets Chihiro again. This page is a preview for an upcoming Sega Saturn dating sim game featuring multiple female characters. It introduces 4 of the main characters: Nanami Hirono, Rei Kashiwazaki, Kana Yamabuki, and Miku Hayasaka. Nanami Hirono is depicted as a cheerful and sporty girl who loves windsurfing and is popular with guys. The text suggests she is impressed by the main character's surfing skills. Rei Kashiwazaki is described as a cool and mature older woman encountered at a nightclub spot. She seems to be impressed by the protagonist and is portrayed in a sexy dress in a nightclub setting. Kana Yamabuki is introduced as a waitress at the restaurant Penny. She's depicted as cheerful and clumsy, and the text describes a scene where she accidentally spills coffee on the protagonist's trousers, leading to their acquaintance. Miku Hayasaka is a refined young lady who is walking her dog when the protagonist sees her. The text implies that the protagonist attempts to approach her, but she becomes wary and runs away, possibly misunderstanding his intentions. The page shows images of each character in various scenes related to their descriptions and potential interactions within the game. This page is a preview for the Sega Saturn game Augment Sacred Death Device Reign. The game is described as an adventure and simulation title set in Tokyo, revolving around a high school student and the harsh fate that befalls him. It emphasizes a hard SF setting with weapons called augments, based on fictional scientific theories. The game blends adventure and simulation elements. The adventure part focuses on conversations and understanding the story and characters, specifically exploring the idea theory, which seems to be a crucial element. The simulation part is described as a half real-time battle system. This system is based on character speed, influencing turn order, strategic placement, and using overboosts, special stones that can change abilities and enhance weapons. The game is advertised as 100% complete and ready for release on February 25th, priced at 5,800 yen. It's published by MediaWorks and is presented as an adventure simulation game. It also mentions a pre-order campaign offering original goods, including trading cards. This page is focused on the Sega Saturn title, Device Reign. It introduces the main characters. 17-year-old Tuya Kumono, the protagonist. 17-year-old Seishiro Hiragi, Tuya's friend. 17-year-old Kasumi Einhart, a transfer student. 23-year-old Ryoko Saragi, Kasumi's father's assistant. JB, a mysterious man. And 26-year-old Kiona Sonohara from a large corporation. His story overview explains that the game begins with Tuya and his friends, including Kasumi, who transferred 3 months prior, enjoying peaceful high school days. However, this peace is shattered when something happens to them after visiting places like arcades and hamburger shops. The page also details gameplay mechanics, labeled as Device Reign Trivia. Idea Reign is described as a system to enjoy the game, with argument being a weapon created using idea theory. Einhart, Doctor's great discovery, refers to Kasumi's father, Dr. Einhart, and his significant discovery related to forming matter, which is being sought after by a large international corporation, Dowis. The game uses arguments, which are special devices with cores, and can be customized with up to 6 different special effects using idea information. The screenshots illustrate gameplay scenes and interface elements related to these mechanics. This page is about the battle system in the Sega Saturn game, Vicelane. It details the argument system, which seems to be the core mechanic for attacks, recovery, and support abilities. Arguments are described as weapons with shapes, but don't directly hit enemies. Instead, they unleash effects like K-Lead Phenom to damage opponents. Battles are described as half real time, influenced by BT, binding time, which varies based on action types and argument power. Faster BT consumption allows for quicker turns. CE, core energy, is needed to activate argument abilities, and it recovers over time. Players need to manage CE to use abilities effectively, and also manage BT consumption to get more turns. The page also explains how equipment changes character status. It lists several status parameters. BT binding time, CE core energy, CS core shield damage resistance from arguments, level argument level, MOV movement, AP attribute parameter, BTSP BT consumption speed, CESP CE recovery speed, DIS distortion, RES restoration, and VR invalidation rate. These stats seem to define character abilities in combat. The screenshots show in-game battle scenes and menus, illustrating the user interface with character portraits, status bars, and action selection options. It appears to be a strategic RPG, with turn-based elements influenced by real-time factors. This page focuses on the game Device Rain, known in Japan as Augment Brustel, highlighting the importance of opus items for attack and leveling up. It explains that opus items, found in battles, are key to strengthening characters and offer collection elements. The page details how to use opus items to enhance combat abilities and level up augments outside of battle through a status menu. Screenshots show gameplay and menu interfaces relating to opus management and augment leveling. Additionally, the page advertises a spring Sega Saturn decoder campaign, where purchasing specific Sega Saturn software titles from MediaWorks, Kid, and Datum Polystar, such as Device Rain, Kiss Yori, and Yuruko no Oshibari Room, will earn you special trading cards. These cards are part of a larger collection of 9 types and are given as a present to all applicants who send in the application tickets included with the games. This page from issue 10 of the Capital Journal celebrates its 10th issue with a feature on Sakura Wars characters Suomaru Kanzaki and Koran Lai. The article mentions that this special feature is timed to coincide with their birthdays. It includes reader submissions and profiles for Suomaru and Koran, with comments from fans across different prefectures in Japan, discussing their impressions of the characters, especially Suomaru's character development since Sakura Wars 2. There is a comic strip section showcasing Sakura Wars 3. Another section titled, Let's Decide Names, features reader name suggestions for characters. The page also contains an apology for pen name errors in the previous issue 9, and provides guidance on future content submissions, suggesting themes related to graduation season, spring, cherry blossoms, and other seasonal events. This page highlights character features and reader submissions for the magazine. It starts with a focus on Koran from Sakura Wars, mentioning her birthday and asking for reader submissions about her inventions. The page then showcases various character illustrations from different prefectures, likely submitted by readers. These include Hanakisaki Ren from Fukuoka, Usako from Chiba, Sakura from Tochigi, Dodoichi from Aomori, Tatsu from Hiroshima, Akinohara Momiji from Osaka, Kitazaka Asaho from Chiba and Kamiya Hitomi, and Takatsuki M. Hara also from Osaka and Kagoshima. A section called This Week's Gasuketsu discusses how Dreamcast and the Internet are becoming more accessible, praising the Dreamcast's visuals. It encourages readers to contact Gasuketsu via email and provides information on Internet connectivity, online playtimes, and a contact phone number for Techno cosplayers. Another section, Address for Love and Youth, invites reader submissions for illustrations and articles on various topics. Finally, an address block for submissions is shown, addressed to the Dreamcast Magazine editorial department at SoftBank in Tokyo. This page focuses on secret techniques and tips for Dreamcast games. For Godzilla Generations, it reveals how to choose any character in Everyone to Battle mode by pressing down on the direction pad while holding L and R buttons at the character select screen, with each press cycling through different Godzilla variations such as Heisei Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, and more. Another tip for Godzilla Generations details how to consistently trigger counterattacks in battle by inputting a command during character selection, increasing the chance of counters and defense moves. For Virtua Fighter 3 TB, the page introduces a method to achieve superhuman status easily in ranking mode by clearing normal mode with the time limit set to unlimited. Lastly, for Sonic Adventure, it explains how to perform a rocket start by pressing the A button at the exact moment the go signal appears at the start of a race. The page also includes a call for readers to submit their own secret techniques for Dreamcast and Sega Saturn games. This page is an advertisement from SNK focusing on Neo Geo Pocket Color releases. The main highlight is King of Fighters R2, a new entry in the Pocket Fighting series, emphasizing its incorporation of elements from King of Fighters 98 and a new making mode. The page features screenshots of King of Fighters R2 showing in-game battles and characters. There is also a release lineup table for Neo Geo Pocket Color games, including titles like Baseball Stars Color Version, Communication 4 Players Mahjong, Django Color Version, the Pro Yaku Color Version, Pocket Tennis Color Version, Sunajik Pond 2, Neo Dragons Wild, Neo Cherry Master Color Version, Neo 21, Neo Derby Champ, Neo Mystery Bonus, Neo Baccara, Dive Alert, and Puzzle Bobble Mini. Finally, the page promotes the Neo Geo DJ Station Live 99 event, featuring voice actors and a live performance, with event dates and ticket information provided. An endorsement quote from Mr. Umimoto encourages readers to buy the Neo Geo Pocket Color and enjoy the games, particularly King of Fighters R2. The next page is an arcade advertisement for Konami's new music game, Guitar Freaks. This game lets you simulate playing a guitar using a dedicated controller with neck buttons and a picking lever. The aim is to perform guitar riffs by hitting the correct frets and strumming rhythmically. The controller features a picking lever for strumming and an effector knob to change the guitar sound. It highlights the song list, which is categorized into practice, normal, and expert difficulties, and includes songs like Riff Stage, Cutie Pie, Chicago Blue, The Endless Summer, Fire, Happy Man, Cool Joe, Jazzy Cat, L.A. Rider, Shake It Up, Dry Martinica, and Hypnotica, covering genres from blues to heavy metal, with a total of 12 songs. The advertisement emphasizes the guitar techniques within the songs and encourages flashy gameplay when it hits arcades. Screenshots of the gameplay, controller close-ups, and the arcade cabinet itself are featured alongside genre selection screens like hard rock, blues, and funk. This page is showcasing the arcade game Beat Mania Complete Mix. It highlights the game as a DJ simulation experience for 1 or 2 players and boasts a collection of 39 songs. The page explains how to play, emphasizing the rhythm-based guitar controller with neck buttons and picking action. Screenshots illustrate the gameplay interface with musical notes scrolling down and cartoonish characters in the background. Game modes are mentioned, including easy and hard modes, as well as an internet ranking feature. The page also lists new song additions, spanning genres like hard house, Eurobeat, J-Techno, and J-Dance Pop. It also teases upcoming information in the Next Week section about new music simulations from Konami, specifically mentioning Beat Mania 2DX and Dance Dance Revolution Second Mix as titles to look forward to. Cellpute Radio Drama Series is promoting upcoming drama CD releases for Street Fighter ZER03, What Dreams May Come, Scarlet Town's Strange Tale, and Biohazard 2. The Street Fighter ZER03 drama CD accompanies an OVA and features characters like Ryu, Sakura, and Karin with listed voice actors. The What Dreams May Come CD contains over 20 minutes of bonus scenes, extra tracks, and a sticker. The Biohazard 2 CD, the fourth in the series, is titled Sherry's Whereabouts, Provisional, and follows Sherry after Resident Evil 2 in a new location near Raccoon City, exploring her nightmares. It releases on March 20th with a bonus script, and the fifth drama will continue Elsa's Biohazard 2 story. Lastly, readers are encouraged to send Capcom-related postcards for the Hello Capcom Dash segment by February 19th, including illustrations for Big Push Room and enthusiastic messages for the magazine, sent to the provided address. This article details hidden playable characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Young Joseph, DIO, and Shadow DIO. Young Joseph, a younger version of Joseph, is unlocked by pressing Start with specific characters and holding Start with Joseph, featuring moves like Ripple and Cracker Volley. DIO, the boss from the Egypt arc, is unlocked by pressing Start 5 times, with DIO selected and holding it on the 5th press, with moves such as Murda Murda and Road Roller. Shadow DIO, from Part 3's mid-stage, is unlocked similarly to DIO, but holding Start for longer, showcasing moves like bloody throwing knives and World 21. Both DIO and Shadow DIO have time-stopping abilities with their stands. The article also provides command inputs for all special moves, noting they are for when facing right and reverse for facing left, and includes gameplay screenshots. This page is a game preview for Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, focusing on the final stage called Endor Space. The game is described as a 3D shooting game for the Sega Model 3 board. The Endor Space stage is the final stage of the game and features a mission to penetrate the Death Star and destroy its power reactor. Players will pilot an X-Wing and face the final boss, the Death Star 2. The stage structure progresses from the initial Yavin stage, moving through dogfights around Death Star 2, battles on the surface, and finally an attack on the central core. The difficulty is noted to be significantly higher in this final stage. A message, information from AM12 Dev, is also included, along with a URL for the Star Wars Trilogy Arcade homepage on the Sega website. The game, flat out, features 3 stages detailed in this text. Stage 1, Endor Area Dogfight, advises players against destroying all enemies, recommending focus on targeting enemies directly attacking you to manage difficulty. AM12 suggests memorizing patterns, with hitting allies for a power boost as a last resort due to numerous enemies and high speed. Stage 2, Death Star 2 Surface Battle, is set on Death Star 2's surface, prioritizing gun emplacements and squadrons, focusing on blue carousels for destruction rate, and optionally targeting other turrets for bonus points. Stage 3, Power Reactor Final Battle, occurs inside a reactor, urging players to destroy defense walls and use proton torpedoes on the 4 targets surrounding the core before targeting the core itself. AM12 notes the walls are weak and recommends reactor focus over interceptors for struggling players. This page is an official corner from Sega AM3 R&D department focusing on LA Machine Guns 2 Rush, the sequel to LA Machine Guns, which was never released internationally. This article from December 1998 introduces the game as a high-speed, high-tension shooter, aimed at players who might have found the original Ghost Squad too difficult. It features character introductions for the director Mayama, the AD Kanazawa, and Watari, who seems to be in charge of training. Director Mayama is described as a perfectionist, while Kanazawa is depicted as calm. The article also highlights a special training course for LA Machine Guns and AM3 Troopers, suggesting this is a recurring feature in the magazine. Director Mayama provides commentary on the game in a section called Serious Bullet Requiem. The page includes screenshots of the game and character portraits. This page showcases a public score attack decisive battle in Rush between 2 players, Kanazawa and Mayama, in Los Angeles. Kanazawa, the first player, emphasizes not interrupting combos and understanding enemy patterns, highlighting the AI-controlled camera and enemies, requiring calm judgment. He's described as playing with a relaxed attitude despite being told to hurry up. Mayama, the second player, brags about his reflexes and uses a machine gun effectively. He's described as a new type who shouts, "Baka!" during play and demands snacks, mentally shaking Kanazawa. Both players offer gameplay tips. Kanazawa suggests using red flares to easily connect combos, especially in the heliport battle, emphasizing combo chains. Mayama talks about destroying obstacles and missiles to maximize score, relying on hollow circle Sans power in tough situations, and aiming for 24 combos, even if they break before the Bonaventure stage. Kanazawa ends up with a total score of 611,319 points, noting his combo break was too harsh. Mayama achieves a total of 821,708 points, thanks to a 24 combo at the beginning, securing victory. The loser, Kanazawa, faces a loser penalty game called Dog's End Path. The page introduces the Mote Stone, a popular item to be given to the loser, described as a stone to make one popular. The instructions suggest saying, "Please love me," with a heart mark on the eye when giving it. The result declares Mayama as the winner 10, and teases the next issue will feature the revenge battle in the second round and a suit design prize. The next page is an article about Virtua Striker 2 vs 99 from Binchan's One-Point Advice series. This is Volume 2. It highlights the game's popularity and upgrades from previous versions, focusing on improved gameplay and greater freedom around the goal. The article offers advice in 2 key areas. Ball clear is calmly, which recommends using direct passes for defense and avoiding risky dribbling, and Super Play for high scores, encouraging players to take advantage of the increased freedom near the goal to score high points with techniques like short headers and volleys. The developers also mention the scoring system has been tweaked to allow for even higher scores than before, with the highest recorded score being 666 points, potentially even more depending on the shot. The game is running on Sega's Model 3 arcade board and was very well received at the time. This page is all about Virtua Striker 2 version 99 and provides formation advice for players. It explains how choosing formations at the start of a match in this version influences the in-game tactical options. The page includes a table listing various national teams like Japan, Italy, Brazil, Germany, England, and many others, showing their offensive and defensive formations. For example, Japan's offensive formation is 442 and defensive is 352DV. There's a section teasing new features in FC Sega within Virtua Striker 2 version 99, hinting at hidden elements from previous games and giving clues related to the final league and money. Screenshots show gameplay and menu screens from Virtua Striker 2, emphasizing the formation selection. Finally, there is a prize giveaway of a special Virtua Striker 2 version 99 field coat, a Beams uniform item, for 5 lucky readers who send in postcards. This page from Sega AMR&D Department No. 1 Official Corner Dynamite focuses on The House of the Dead 2. It mentions the Dreamcast version release decision and provides a strategy guide for Chapters 2 and 3 of the game. The guide includes route maps for Chapter 3, which are determined by whether you encounter Boss A or Boss B in Chapter 2. There are detailed strategies for defeating both Boss A and Boss B in Chapter 2, including tips on dealing with enemies like Evitan and Deborah. The page contains screenshots illustrating boss encounters and gameplay scenarios to aid players. The next page is a strategy guide for The House of the Dead 2. It details the branching paths in the game and the boss encounter in the 3rd chapter. Branching Route 1 involves saving a male character, leading to a route where you encounter enemies like Epitaphs and Bob. Rescuing the man leads to a container with a life-up item and merges with Boss B's route. Saving both a man and a woman is mentioned. Branching Route 2 involves encountering Bob and Ricky on a boat. Defeating Bob quickly is advised. After opening a gate with the rescued man's help, Johnny appears from the boat, and Cecil throws spears from the gate. The page then transitions to the 3rd chapter boss, showcasing the Tower Type 800 boss battle. It describes 2 boss arenas, Boss A and Boss B, with slightly different backgrounds. The strategy for defeating the tower boss involves targeting the heads when they glow. It is mentioned that during the water phase, the boss is immune to damage, so players should aim for the heads when they emerge from the water. The guide advises to attack the glowing heads before they attack, and to be wary of oil slicks. Defeating the 4 red heads causes the central blue head to appear, continuing the attack pattern. This page is a declaration titled, "Games are still interesting," with an image of a stylized eye. The accompanying text explains that the eye symbolizes a perspective to view games and the game industry with a fresh outlook. It's mentioned that this perspective is needed in the game industry. The page also promotes a feature on Dreamcast games titled Dreamcast Total Affirmation, Biohazard Terror Complete Works, and Ridge Racer Type 4, and mentions it is in GM Magazine, available for 690 yen. The next page features the Dreamcastrology Weekly Horoscope for February 5th to February 11th. It presents weekly horoscopes for each of the 12 zodiac signs, providing advice and luck ratings across different aspects like money, health, love, and work. Each horoscope is presented with advice and interpreted for both boys and girls. This page is a special present for readers of Dreamcast Magazine, showcasing 5 prize options for lucky winners. Prize 1 is Dreamcast software winners can choose any Dreamcast game released by February 19th, 1999. Prize 2 is a Sega Rally 2 Goods set, which includes stickers, telecards, and a logo-marked mug light. Prize 3 is a Girl Doll toy clear file featuring an illustration of Erica. Prize 4 is a Martian successor Nadesico drive dedicated CD-ROM cleaner, with an illustration for lens cleaning enjoyment. This is a hybrid disc. Prize 5 is a Sakura Wars Imperial Graph poster, a promotional poster featuring a nice illustration. The page also lists the magazine staff and announces the next issue, Volume 7, releasing on February 26th. The next issue will feature direct coverage from the AOU 1999 Amusement Expo, with new Naomi title announcements and new Dreamcast titles. There will be detailed information on Power Psychic Force 2012. Special features in the next issue include Shenmue, Giant Graham, All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 and Nippon Budokan, Blue Stinger, EGG, Carrier, Undercover Cops, Aero Dancing featuring Blue Impulse, Sega Rally 2, Sonic Adventure, and Sengoku Turb. Finally, the page lists the winners of the previous issue's presents from the January 22nd and 29th issue. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. It highlights features such as the full reproduction of the Monaco City course, an arcade mode focused on speed, a simulation mode emphasizing realistic racing elements like fuel consumption and tire wear, and a retro mode featuring 1950s cars. The game boasts 17 courses and 11 teams, with technical supervision by Studio 397 from France, and supports 2-player battles. It is compatible with racing controllers, VGA output, and force feedback. A green banner indicates a March release and a price of 5,800 yen. The ad lists various circuits included in the game, such as Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Argentina, San Marino, Monaco, Spain, Canada, France, Great Britain, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Japan, Europe, and Austria, and features the Automobile Club de Monaco logo. It is published by UBI Soft. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game Power Stone. It showcases various gameplay mechanics through concept art and descriptions. These include wall climbing, wall kick jumps, using pillars for movement and attack, roof climbing, setting barrel traps, pulling pillars, and utilizing the Power Stone item for transformation and powerful attacks. The page also highlights the ability to pick up and use objects in the environment and grab onto ceilings. The game is presented as an action-packed arena fighter with interactive environments and unique character abilities powered by the Power Stones.